Okay, I think I'm live. How is everyone? Am I loud and clear? Can you please give me the okay in the chat that I'm loud and clear? Otherwise, I'll be talking to myself. Big game coming up. All good. Thanks, Benny. Thanks. Thank you very much. Okay, so big game. Are we all pumped? I reckon I'm fairly confident about this one. I reckon we'll fucking do the job. I can see the inclusion of Mason Cox and Will Parker, good inclusions. And yeah, I reckon the Crows are a bit rattled. I reckon we'll fucking get them. All right. Let's see who's. Oh, already got people waiting here. All right. I'm going to put the main man, Benny Zero, up first. Benny. Can't hear shit, man.
Helps if I unmute the mic, doesn't it?
Oh, there you go. How are you, pal?
Yeah.
Nice to see your face,
mate,
man.
Good, good. Had a shower, so I thought I might show my face once.
How you feeling for the game, mate?
Yeah, hyped up already. Already today, I was on like a little bit on edge, just ready for it. You know, it's like it's a day too long for me. I needed it tonight, kind of thing. But I'll get amped again tomorrow. We'll work it out. Yeah. But I'm feeling very confident, like you said. I mean, if we can carbon copy what we did before with a bit of more sharpening, we'll get them.
Yeah, it's been a long fucking fortnight of just anticipation. I was just on the Forever Rivals show just before.
Punches.
Yeah, and yeah, they were absolutely fucking piling it on me. But yeah, man, I don't care what they say, man. They're bringing up, oh, look at your last few weeks. Who cares, man? It's a clean slate, mate. Yeah.
That goes all the way back to Lee Matthews, mate. New season as of this week.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Reasonable, healthy lists. Maybe one or two players we're missing, and that's it.
Yeah, we just got to do the job, man. If we, you know, we could just win by a point, you know, that'll be fine, you know. But yeah, I reckon we'll win comfortably, man. For some reason, I've got a very good feeling about this one. Hopefully, I'm not jinxing us, but you know.
Oh, if only we had such power, hey, to do that. Yeah, 4 to 5 goals would be my tip at the moment. That's a confident tip. Like, you know, I could be delusional, but I think we're doing all right.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to bring in Adrian. How are you, Age?
Good evening, Woodsman. How are we?
Very confident, man. Very confident. We'll keep the optimism throughout the show, and we'll discuss the team that we got in, and yeah, see how long we go for, mate. People are piling up.
Mate. I love to hear it. I started getting thoughts today. I remember in 2018, before we played Richmond in that big prelim, it was a very similar sort of vibe where we're just getting hammered from pillar to post saying we're no shot, this and that. They're going to pound you, blah, blah, blah. I've just got that same feeling about tomorrow night. I just think we're being... Our form suggests that we're probably not up to it. But do people forget what we did 2 weeks ago over there?
Yeah.
You know, I just feel like we've positioned ourselves really well for this game. Despite our form not being there, we did rest a lot of players and that. And yes, it probably did sort of flirt with the form a little bit. But now with the extra week off, we're running out of a bit of steam, but the break's really going to help us, I think. And I reckon we will attack this game 100%. And we'll be in a really good position to challenge. Look, can't say we're just going to go out there and win, but I do think we are in an awesome position right now.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Oh, mate, how good's this, man? Live from, I'm assuming, Lesbos in Greece. We've got the main man, Manny, who's Gonna make his appearance, and we haven't heard from this guy for ages, mate. So, how are you, Manny?
Yeah, so bro, there's special occasion for you there. That's why I come on. Special occasion there. What are you doing in my life?
You're a legend, bro.
Only for you there. Only for you there, because we've got to live for tomorrow. That's critical there. Finals footy, bro. Let's go there. I saw you on Jumper Punch. The Bapu's not well there, but I'm still lifting from down here. I've got to take care of him now, but I'll be gone.
You're a legend, Manny, and all our thoughts and prayers, Ben, for your Papu, man. I hope everything goes well, man.
Sorry, he's a Vietnam vet today. 90-year-old Vietnam vet today. Not like Collingwood players today, the pussies. He's a Vietnam vet, this bloke there, the Papu. Hey, they better go out there tomorrow and get the job done. It's a whole new season, like you said on the Jumper Punch. Whole new season. They better go out there tomorrow there and get the job done. Simple.
Yeah. That's what I loved about just being on the Jumper Punch now. They were giving me nothing, man. And I'm like, mate.
They're hanging for a demise, bro. Can't you see him? They're hanging for a demise there. Hey, it's a whole new season now. It's finals football, bro. Contested. He's bringing in Mason Cox now, right? He's bringing in Mason Cox today. He's only kicked 2 goals all season, right? So he better hope to God that Mason Cox performs or wins in the tap rucks. Tap the ball forward, right, and get over Thilthorpe. Tap the ball forward. Get us on the run, right? Open up the forward 50, right, and get the job done on him. And Keen, that Malaka Keen there, he's on notice, mate. They better not let Keen. They better not let Keen do whatever he wants. Get the job done on him. Simple. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'll tell you what. Mason Cox he's playing for his fucking career. Yeah, we're gonna.
What's going to happen? What's going to happen is. They're gonna play Mason Cox now to bring the ball down inside 50 and also win the tap rucks, right? So what he's done is he's put McStay on notice and he's told McStay, you're getting omitted, right? And if Cox doesn't perform tomorrow night, because he's put it up McStay, he's shafted McStay, he's G'd McStay up, he's gonna bring McStay back in so McStay can come back in the second final and perform.
Yeah, I can see that. All right. I'm going to bring in Tyler from Bris Vegas. How are you, Tyler?
Good evening.
To all the other boys. Hey, how are you, boys? To all the other boys in there as well. How are you, lads? Got to say hi.
Mate, everyone's
Manny,
in.
we missed you, mate.
Good, Manny.
Echoing
Good to see you, mate.
of Mick. Hopefully you're doing all right, mate.
Yeah, hopefully everything's good.
I'm going to lock up the whole. I'm going to kick out the whole village tomorrow. The whole Greek village. I'm going to kick the whole fucking lot of them out. It's going to be locked down. I'm telling you. They better not.
You got to get them Collingwood scarves, mate. You got to get them all Collingwood scarves and beanies.
Yeah, under the olive trees, bro. Under the olive trees. It's going to be fucking mayhem. They better get the job done, mate. I'm telling you. It's fucking critical, mate.
All right. Let's who we got here. Ultimate greatness. Sean makes an appearance, the voice of reason. Where is he?
Hey guys, what's going on?
There he is.
Hey, Sean.
How you going, all right?
Yeah, going pretty good. Just waiting for tomorrow night now.
You'd be absolutely fucking wrapped that Mason Cox is in, huh?
Oh, absolutely over the moon. You know, Christmas has come early. Oh, absolutely.
Who else we're going to bring in, man? Like, I know they put McStay down as an omission, but I reckon he's got a bung shoulder, man. And there's no one else.
Well, that's obviously the talk, right? I mean, his form hasn't warranted really a game, right? So I think it comes down to
but it says omitted. They dropped him. Yeah, he's put
because I didn't think that they would have actually done that.
Yeah, but he's put the shaft up him there. He's put the shaft up him. He's dropped him for a final. He's told him, you haven't played good football for 5 weeks. I've got no choice but to drop you. I can't take you into a final playing like that. But you know what? How come he drops McStay and he never dropped fucking Darcy Moore?
Yeah.
This is the
You
captain.
can't.
That's the
Because as we know, Darcy Moore's the captain, and
Yeah,
Nick
that's the
Saig is
problem.
also part of the leadership group, which I thought they were going to go down the shoulder soreness part in terms of why he would be out, but the fact that they've said that he's admitted, I feel like that's also a big call, but it's probably a big call and probably for like a bad reason, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So I've got the living legend himself, Kev. I'm going to put him in. Kev,
Hey man, how are you?
is that the real Kev?
Yes.
Lift, Kev. Fucking lift,
Because
buddy.
last week there were people. I was getting trolled by people acting like Kev, and I put him on, and I was getting all this crazy shit coming on, man. But I know that it's the real Kev because he shows his face. So good on you, man.
Hey guys, how are you?
Very
Hey,
good,
Good,
man.
Kevy.
Good,
I
Kev.
can't,
Good.
I can't believe them fuckwits thinking, oh, Colin will be out there in straight sets, or we got no chance. Do they realize that every time we are in top four playing finals, we never go out in straight sets, ever?
Well, let's not jinx that.
Yeah, but it's banter though, Kev. Like this is why you can't take everyone seriously.
Yeah.
Hey, Kev,
I
you know,
can't-
Kev, you know the stat they come up with before? I was watching something. You know what stat they come up with before? That no teams won a grand final. No teams won a grand final from fourth place in 24 years. It's all bullshit, Kev. Don't worry. We go out there, we give it to them, right? It's all over a driver. We'll give it to them.
Yeah,
Best time for everything,
I'm
right?
confident we'll win. I'm very confident we'll win.
Even like last, the Premiership year 23, they were saying, oh, no team's ever won the flag after losing the last 4 out of 5 games of the season. And yeah, everyone was saying that. And look what happened, mate. You know? So they can bring up any bullshit stat, man.
You watch our centre clearances tomorrow. I guarantee you, when Cox is in the ruck tomorrow, you watch our centre clearances. What's going to happen is Cox is going to get over the top of Philthorpe, and he's going to smack the ball forward. And all the mids, they're going to know instantly that the ball's going to get hit forward, right? And they're all going to get onto it. You're going to see DeGoey, you're going to see Nick, you're going to see Pendlebury, you're going to see the whole lot of them. They're going to be running onto the ball because they know where it's going. Because Cox is a good tap ruckman. So I reckon we'll get the job done on him, Mick. I reckon we'll get the job done on him there.
Yeah.
Also, too, who do you guys think will start the ruck first? Do you think it'll be Darcy Cameron, or do you think it'll be Mason Cox?
I'll be getting Coxie to start at the ruck, right? Get the run on them while we're fresh, right? Get the run on them, and then Cox can do the ruck, right? And Cox can push forward quickly, right, and get into the forward line. And then I think when Cameron's rucking, what he's going to do is, because we're missing Howe, I reckon when Cameron's rucking, he's going to fold back, right, intercept marks in our back 50 and help the defence out. That's what I reckon is going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look, the advantage of having...
Go on, Age.
Now, I was just going to say the advantage of having both of them playing is, like, Cameron's been playing like 85, 90% game time all bloody year, really. So, I mean, and he's been exceptional, don't get me wrong. But the fact that Cox is in there, Cox can play more of instead of just a second string ruck, it's almost just the 2 ruck sort of system. So I reckon you'll see Cox in there a heap. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if he rucks just as much as Cameron, and Cameron sort of just floats around the ground a little bit more, because they will need his height in the back line a little bit.
And they probably need that for Cameron too, more fresh throughout the final series too. So if Cameron's say 65%, then what's that? Another 35%. Like say 25 of it can go to Cox, and there's another 10%, or probably 30% goes to Cox, and 5% can go to like a Checkers or someone else. So you can do it that way.
Yeah, sorry, Sean. You know what else I've noticed? The coaches come out. The coaches come out in the media and they told the umpires to watch the holding on Mason Cox, because they're going to be holding him tomorrow. You watch how much they hold him, because they're too small for him. they're going to start scraggling him and holding his arms. So hopefully the umpires see it and they they're awarding free kicks. There better not be holding going on, and they're not paying fucking free kicks or buzz.
Yeah. Well, because I mean, I watched was it Footy Classified? Literally just watched that clip like 20 minutes ago. Apparently Eddie was saying that Collingwood have gone to it, and because apparently they mentioned like the Ben Keys when he got when like Mason Cox had his goggles and he ripped the goggles off. Apparently he mentioned like something like that. And like different examples, and those were the examples that was used. I just found it funny because like, that game was like a year ago, maybe 2 years ago now.
Yeah,
So, but, I mean, at the end of the day, I guess you got to have examples, I guess. So,
we need that mongrel. Cox brings that mongrel. If he kicks the goal, he's going to go up to a defender and he's going to G him up, and it's going to be on. Cox going to give it to King. He's going to give it to King tomorrow. You watch. I'm telling you, he's going to give it to King.
But what
you can't have King. You can't have King. You can't have King playing like a superstar. He's a shit kicker. You can't have King doing what he done to us last time. It's a disgrace job. King's got to be put in his fucking place. Simple.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I'm going to bring in Chris. Where is he? There he is. Chris, how are you, pal?
Yeah, how y'all going?
Very good, man. Are you Chris Talbot?
Yes.
Yes, that's the one. You're the regular on Pies Footy as well. Yeah. And Andreas' show, Black and White United.
Hey, Mick.
Yeah, mate.
What's going on with Pies Footy there? It's gone downhill there.
Hey, come on, man. Relax. What do you mean downhill? He's got like 4,000 subscribers, man. He's killing.
Yeah, but it doesn't bring anyone on anymore, eh?
Look, man, it's his show, man. He's the king of it, man. He can do whatever he wants, man.
Is Oracle?
Yeah.
Hey, I've got a question for you guys. Did you guys see what Luke Hodge said on SEN with Joe Waitley?
What did he say?
So he said if he were Darcy Moore, he would come out and say there's no pressure on us. All the pressure's on Adelaide. They haven't made finals since 2017. And the fact is, if we can come out there and play like 8-9 tomorrow, definitely we can get the job done. It's something along those lines of, because Adelaide haven't played finals, the pressure's more on them than it is on us. Because we've played in finals, we know what it's like to play in finals. Adelaide haven't had that finals experience, and because there will be question marks on their three key forwards, whether or not that would actually work.
Yeah. I feel like the answer would be different though, because like the external expectations of Adelaide would be, for them to at least win a final, maybe get to a prelim, then everyone will be happy. But internally, I always seem to find that it's a lot more aggressive internally than it is externally. Like even with us, like at Collingwood and stuff, like internally, we'll have years like previous years where it's like, no, it's flag or bust. Like if we either win a flag and it's successful, or we don't and it's not. So, like I just, but then at the same time, I feel like Adelaide could even have the same like mentality. So it's sort of hard to know like what is a pass mark.
Hey, Kev.
Yeah, mate.
Kev, we've got the formula on them, bro. We've got the formula on them. The coaches know how to defeat the Crows. We've got the formula on them. Then we know how to cut them up. Our problem last time was that we couldn't finish our work off. 75 entries. Well, if we got 3-4 marks in that forward 50, we would have given it to them. So I'm telling you, if we could tidy up those forward entries or get Cox to grab a couple or bring the ball down, we got them easy, bro. We know we know their formula. We know how to bust them open. So we're going to bust them open tomorrow, I reckon. Big time.
And our first quarter against them too, I want to see more of that throughout the game. I don't want us to bomb too many times. The less bombing, the better.
Yeah, fucking
Well,
nice.
also as well too,
it's-
like even like that Houston goal when he kicked that goal against Adelaide. I want to say it was first quarter. When he kicked those goals from 50, those are the choices that we need to be making more. Like we need the Houstons of the world, the Maynards of the world, the Quainers of the world. Those guys having shots from like 50 and stuff. Because if they're going to crowd the whole forward line, have those guys at the 50-meter mark. Because we know they can kick 55, 60 meters. Have them on the 50-meter line if they can creep even more closer, even better. But yeah, I feel like we need to kick a few more goals like what Houston did in that first quarter against Adelaide. Because yeah, I mean that's how you're probably going to get the goals on the board. Because yeah, I just don't rate the marking ability of Cox to really do anything. But then again, who knows? If he brings the ball to ground and you got Schultz and Bow and obviously we don't have Hill, but but there's enough smalls there where they can at least make something of that.
Contract. Short. He's playing for a contract. Cox is playing for a contract. He's playing for another chance to win a premiership. So all the incentives are with Cox to fucking do damage. Also, all of us on this show, the reason why we're confident is because we know that if the boys come out and play fucking Collingwood football, we're all confident that we can give it to them. We all know that, mate.
Yeah,
It's over if they do.
Fucking oath.
Yeah.
Look,
Yeah,
what we
right,
saw
yeah.
a few weeks ago when we went over there, it's only 2 or 3 weeks. The forward line was completely dysfunctional from what end of the first quarter. First quarter was great. Don't get me wrong. After that, completely dysfunctional. Now we got within a few points with a complete and utter dysfunctional forward line for those 3 quarters. I've got no doubt they would have done work between that game and now. Don't worry about the Melbourne game so much, but in terms of preparing for this game, once they knew it was the outcome, pretty much straight after the Melbourne game, we knew this was going to be our opponent. I can guarantee they've gone to work on how the forward structure is going to look like against Adelaide. Now we need to understand and accept that we should have won that game. Don't listen to what people say, this and that. We should have won that game of football a few weeks ago when we played against them. We were completely dysfunctional forward of the football. Now, we cannot have a repeat of them just outmarking us all night, or else we're just going to get the same result. So, look, whatever you think of Cox, this and that, at the end of the day, it's a beanpole in the forward line. He doesn't even have to take any marks, in my opinion.
Bring the ball down.
It's just got to be more functional than what we saw bloody 3 weeks ago. Because I watched that game. Yeah, I watched that game again on Monday, and when you're watching without, when you know the result and you sort of just watch to look at things, I saw a few of our smalls there. They're anticipating the ball to go to ground, and it just wasn't going to ground because these Adelaide players are just intercept marking, running off us, all this crap. So it is just the one portion of the game that we just need to get better. We don't even need to be a hell of a lot better, just better than what it was a few weeks ago. And they will be in all sorts. I promise you. And that's why Cox is so important in this team.
They're gonna love the ball.
After the Adelaide game, that we would have been better off dribbling it along the ground inside 50. At least we had a chance for our smalls to pick it up and do something rather than just hand it straight back to them.
Yeah,
absolutely. They had no opportunity. Our smalls against Adelaide, nothing. I watched the game in full. After quarter time, they had no opportunity. And to think that the same 6 or 7 blokes are going to offer nothing again is, I really find that it's such a simple fix this game to get us the result.
You're going to see Cox. You're going to see Cox as a reference point. You're going to see Cox as a reference point, and then you're going to see Schultz. You're going to see McCreary. and you're going to see a couple midfielders. They're going to get right next to Cox, right? They're going to wait for the ball drop, and they're gonna swarm on the ball, and it's going to be forward pressure. You watch what's going to happen. They're going to use Cox as a reference point. If he can bring the ball down and the small forwards know where the ball's going to get dropped, it's going to be on. We're going to give it to him.
What do you think about Saidi training with the forwards this week and starting possibly in the forward line, or at least appearing in there for a fair bit? Sounds
Fucking
good to
ball
me.
drop, mate. Fucking ball drop, buddy.
Yeah, front and centre, his specialty.
Also, too, I said this today at work, right? Brian McCreary is one of our most important players as part of our structure in our team. What he does do, right? Forget that he may not kick 4 or 5 goals a game, but what he does do is his pressure is elite. His tackling's elite like he should, and he can have the ball 12, 15 disposals a game, and he can use it well. He can blow out his eyes when we go forward, and we can get a mark inside 50 as well. That's why I think, and people laugh at it, and I know they did stay away, but the fact is that when I watch Brian McCreary play, and I know Ultimate Greatness loves Brian McCreary a lot, that what he does do is that his pressure is elite. You know that he's going to tackle well, and you know when he gets the ball 12 or 15 times a game, he's going to use it really well too. So don't people shouldn't be surprised, and if people will be surprised if Brian McCreary plays well tomorrow night. I'll be saying, look, I told you so. Look what Bo McCreary does. Watch him very closely, like what we do, and you know exactly what he does in part of his role.
Yeah, and because he's from South Australia too, he always steps up whenever we play at Adelaide Oval.
Yeah, because his family's there, Sean. His family's there.
Yeah, that's the boy I just said. He's from South Australia, so he stands up when he plays at Adelaide Oval.
Also, their defenders, they shit themselves when they see Bo coming towards them because he crunches them. They panic, right? And the disposal efficiency is shit. They just put the ball on the boot, right? And he puts the fucking fearing God in them. So when he tackles hard. But don't worry, hey boys, my grandfather's coming back. Let's fucking get around them now. Let's hope for the best. Get the job done. Straight to the prelim, right? I love you, Zor. I gotta go. I can't carry on too much. And let's get the job done. All right, boys? Yep, for me.
No worries.
Mate.
Thanks, Manny. All the best, bro.
All right, let's go, boys. Hope we get the job done. Prelim, mate. We'll get the job done. Prelim. MCG prelim. Let's fucking go. Fucking live. I'm about to fucking lose a boy.
What a legend. All right, I'm going to get Kynan in. There he is. How are you, pal? Kynan.
It's been a while, legends. How we been?
Very good, man. How you feeling, man? You as confident as all of us?
Cox is gonna get his cock out.
Kynan, are you working tomorrow?
Mate. I reckon this is what I want to see tomorrow, yeah? I want to see this kind of game, not a game plan. This tactic, I want to see this tactic a few times tomorrow. Cox starting in the centre, yeah. Cameron starting in defence, yeah. As soon as the bounce is done and Cox gets the tap out, Cox sort of like goes forward and Cameron does the ruck around the grounds. I'd love to see that.
That sounds smart as fuck. Yeah, that sounds smart as fuck.
Yeah, and with the forward line,
I like that.
We could start off as small as possible, apart from Checkers and Membry, and then you got Elliott, Schultz, McCreary running around, and as someone said, Sidebottom's been training with the forwards. Just a bit of unpredictability, mate. I'd love to see that.
And to answer the question, I am indeed working tomorrow.
Oh, but that's a good thing because you worked against when we played Melbourne and we won. So yeah, it's all right.
I broke the curse.
That's it. That's what finals are about. Collingwood, we always break the curse when it comes to finals.
Hey,
Sorry, who was that?
I've got a question. Who do you think will be
Chris?
the sub? I've got a
Sub,
question. Who do you think will be the sub? Who do you think will be
I
the
reckon
sub?
Rowan Steele mine. I reckon he'll be the sub again. He'll come on in the second half and give us just a bit of pace in the last
As
quarter.
much as I don't want that to be the case, it's probably true.
Yeah.
I'm going to put my tip
Yeah,
in for
because
Lipper.
especially with the way they've been
Yeah, I
talking,
wanted
it
to
seems
see
like
what
they're actually giving Parker a role.
Yeah.
Don't know if anyone heard, but apparently he's going to be tagging Keys. So if that rumor is
Ooh.
true, then obviously he'll get a full game. So, but I mean, personally, like I'm now kind of jumping on the bandwagon with Lipinski in terms of I think he should be sub if it's going to be anyone in that best 23.
Yeah.
I just think that especially his last few weeks, I think he's had an okay year, but his last few weeks have really been just not good. And just a bit of a wake up call, or you would hope it's a bit, just sort of getting to sort of think about his spot in the side for a bit. I don't think that's going to hurt him or anything. And in fact, it might even help him because he might sort of wake up to the fact that, if he's going through the emotions, that might be the thing to wake him up a bit.
Yeah. Did anyone watch the Crows versus North in round 24?
Yes.
Yeah, I did.
What happened? What did North do to get so
Good.
close to him? Like Voidoid says, they prevented them from transitioning from defense to offense. That's pretty that was a pretty good effort. And when I saw that score, like North got 3 figures on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's got to be. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think as well too, it could also be a bit of a. I mean, I don't think it's a white flag game, but it was sort of heading in the direction of one. I still think that they put in the effort, but I think you could kind of tell that they were sort of. I think they already had one foot in the door of finals, so it was just a matter of they had to have the other foot outside the door, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, but they
So
also
they had
North
to
Melbourne also
look somewhat
North,
convincing, but I think their main focus was finals. And
North
probably
Melbourne also
more,
didn't
okay,
just
how do we
vomit the
look
mark
without
the whole
Isaac
time.
Rankin as well too?
No, I'm not sure I agree with that because if they would have lost, they would have finished second. So I think that generally they were challenged and they were surprisingly challenged.
I think they.
Yeah, but it's also
underestimated
North though.
Melbourne
Like, I
too.
mean, have not was North going in with much form though?
Yeah, but they struggled against West Coast as well. I think Adelaide's form is overstated.
They were.
Look, that game, our game when we played Adelaide, it doesn't. That was a taxing, hard, physical game. Doesn't surprise me that both teams sort of not struggled because they both got the wins, but it doesn't surprise me that both their oppositions got close the next week. To be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do we feel about fucking Titch not being put in?
I'm fine with it. I reckon he's done.
He's finished.
Well, he's an emergency, so you never know.
I think
I said it a few weeks ago. I think the only way he gets back in is an injury to a Ned Long or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So North pressured the fuck out of Keane in that game.
What about Ned Long's form?
Yeah.
But Ned Long
I
has
don't
been
know
playing
though,
a bit
because
better.
even though Long doesn't have that sort of full AFL fitness yet, because I mean I think that's why he's had the form slump in the second half. I still like it. I mean, obviously, I guess this is a bit of a wishful thinking, but if you've had some poor form, maybe you're a bit more. Yeah, probably is wishful thinking that you're probably a bit more fresher going into a final series. Because also, so too, Ned Long's game is the contested side of it, yeah, and that's what finals footy is. Finals footy is not, breaking the lines with speed. It's more contested ball winning clearances. So obviously you can't be slopes. I think Mitchell is like I think his pace around the ground. I just don't think he can, in terms of the way he covers the ground, it's just not close to AFL level anymore. But yeah, if Long can do that, which we know he's got a good athletic background, yeah, I don't know, it's always that thing where in finals there's always someone going in with like really maybe not necessarily poor form, but just like very very like underwhelming form. And then this first quarter of the qualifying final, they just burst on the scene as like, oh damn, this guy's back. If we look back to 23, like Hill was one of those players. Like Hill had a shocking like I want to say 6 weeks, 2 months, like leading into the qualifying final. He kicked 3 goals in the first quarter.
This is
So
Coxie.
there's
Coxie
always like
coming
2
in.
or 3, I feel like.
Legacy game coming for Coxie.
Also,
I mean, I hope so. Like, I'm not going to vote against it, or I'm not going to go against it if it happens and stuff.
2018 all over again.
Also too, right? Finals is completely different to home and away. Home and away footy is you finish the higher up the ladder you can. In finals, it's a collision. It suits us more than it suits Adelaide. And the same as Gold Coast guys, they're gonna get found out when they play Fremantle because they haven't got the experience of playing finals. They're gonna get it, and they'll learn a lot out of playing this week. And then they'll go, okay, this is what we need to get better at, and this is how we can improve as a team. Because finals is a complete different ball game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that's what I was on the Forever Rivals just before, and every time I said that, they would not give me anything. It's like, mate, finals, it's a totally different thing, man. Young players that Adelaide have got, it's history tells you, mate. They capitulate when the pressure's on them in a big final, That they just would not take that into consideration when I bring it up, and I didn't have much to say to him, because I couldn't bring up any good form that we had coming into this game.
And then you had Mark fucking having a go at you when like that club's done nothing for 25 years, but then still trying to shit on Rocco because it's like, oh, you've been shitted for 5 years more. It's like you've still been shit.
But I think the thing with Carlton is last year as well. They went in thinking, "Oh, it's a new season. We're basically locked ourselves into the final," and they played an even shitter game than the rest of the season combined. So I think they've probably got some form of
Did anyone watch the Instagram thing that Collingwood put out that I put in the general chat of the post footy server?
What was that?
I haven't.
It was they posted this video and they took like sound bites of all the different commentators basically writing them off, and they put it over like a montage of like them training and shit. It was fucking hype, bro. I was watching that shit in my car on the way home. I was fucking getting into it, bro. It was crazy.
Let's love it, mate. That's what we want. That's exactly what we want. That's where we perform our best when we're written off.
Absolutely.
Backs against the wall stuff. That's what we do.
Yeah, it was like they fucking who was it? Kingy? Kingy. They had fucking Kane Corns. They had there was like 3 other people. It was just sound bites of them saying put a line through them if they don't get it done against Adelaide, and then it's like this montage of them training and shit. It was fucking sick. So cool.
I think we're better off this year than we were 2 years ago. 2 years ago we had so much pressure because we were minor premiers. This year we 2 weeks ago we didn't expect that we would finish top 4. So we've got no expectations.
2016 doggies incoming.
I don't know if I agree with that though, because like there was expectations after the Carlton. Like there was expectations when we were sitting on top and we were 10 points ahead.
Yeah, but that was
like,
but
just
that's
because
2
we
months
lost.
ago.
I don't think the expectations goes away.
No,
like we lost for the past
supporters now.
2 months.
No, Sean, that's where I disagree because 2-3 weeks ago it was just plummeting down. So that's where I completely agree with Mick that it's a new season now. But we still can't forget where we were three weeks ago, where where we were somewhat.
I mean,
like,
in terms of the
despondent.
mindset for the players, like it can probably be like that because you probably don't want to go into finals with baggage. I can understand it from that point of view. But yeah, I don't yeah.
See, like
Because
I
the
was
thing,
looking
like,
at
obviously, like that Carlton game. After that Carlton game, we were sitting on top with like 10 points clear. Like that's when everything turned to shit, really. And it's like
Manny.
I don't want to just like I just don't want to. Yeah, like I just don't want to like. I don't know how to say this properly. I just don't want to live in that world sort of thing because, like, being on top with 10 points ahead, that was our world at one point. Like, and I think and that's the thing. I mean, if we beat the Crows and we go straight to the prelim, maybe that is the game where I'll probably will say, okay, now our season resets. But like, but I don't know. There's just like since that Carlton game, a lot has happened. If you know what I mean, like just there's a lot of
precisely right. And that's why I think that we should treat this as, for what it is now. Like, and that's basically we've got less pressure than we did in 2023, where we finished on top. Like everyone has written us off this year. Like right now, not 2 months ago. Right now.
Yeah, in terms of writing us off, yeah, opposition clubs have for sure. Yeah.
Even the media. And that's the thing where 2 years ago, like I was looking back at the predictions just to see how we were standing. And almost all of the pundits said, no, don't look at Collingwood's form. They're winning. No one's saying that now. They think that there's a very strong possibility that, that Collingwood of old can show up, but there's no expectation that we're going to win the premiership. So that's where we thrive. Because our backs are against the wall, because we have no expectations.
Kynan, mate, you're taking the sicky tomorrow, man.
I'm laughing at YouTube chat, bro.
We'll start a GoFundMe for you, mate.
But then, like, yeah, but then to I guess counteract that, if we like, let's just say we beat Adelaide, right, and we lose a prelim, so we finish the year not winning a flag, but we lose a prelim. What's the thoughts on that then? Because like, I mean, I'd still be pretty like disappointed because we had a pretty good year. We set ourselves up pretty well, only to fall over a few hurdles late, sort of thing. Like, to me, like I'm looking at it like it's like flag or bust at this point. Like, I mean, at the very least, I want a grand final. I want to at least be there grand final day and have my team there.
Absolutely. The grand final should always be the minimum standard for when you're making top four. A grand final should always be the minimum standard.
What do you think?
Yeah, because also as well, like, internally, like, because I think it was, I can't remember if it was, I think it was this preseason. Like, I got told by somebody who spoke to, like, I won't say who the player is, but a high up player. And they basically says, like, no, we're going for the flag. Like, if there's any intent or if there's any intent of us having the expectations of, like, making a prelim or, making the 8 or whatever. Yeah, because it was after the season of 24, right? So, like, no, their intent was, like, no, we're here to win a flag. If we're not winning flags, then what's the point being here? And I think that's, because obviously, the last 2 months have not been perfect, like, by any stretch, of course, but that's
They haven't been close to
at the end of the day, we are here to
borderline
win
perfect.
flags, and that's what the job is.
Do you think it's all a tactic, like smoke and mirrors, to like everyone let their guard down on us?
What do you mean?
But these things are happening because we've lost games.
Shit.
No,
I don't think so. I think we just flirted with the form too much, and
we didn't. When it comes to management of the players, it's just been shocking. Like, I mean, with like mixed day, like I don't believe that Mixed Day has only just been sore this week. You know, even Checkers. I feel like Checkers has been sore for a fair while too. You know, you've had, and I know Mick's gonna probably have a giggle at this, but like the fact that we haven't had a debut from Oscar Steen, you know, that it's just someone that we can just put in the forward line and just, you know, if we're happy to trial someone like a Steele, if we're happy to trial a Parker, if we're, you know, happy to trial all these guys coming in, you know, one of their biggest issues is taking a mark in the forward 50 or taking a contested mark inside forward 50. Yes, I know Oscar Steen's a rock, but if you're looking at pure just like the ability to just take a mark and because he has taken marks in the forward 50 in the VFL, why don't you just put him in that side and just go, here you go, you've got 2-3 games, stand inside the forward 50, be about 20 metres out. When you see the ball, jump at it and grab the thing. Like, you know, like it's just at the end of the day, just like go back to the basics and just keep it simple. You know, but
look, I think with
as you have a mixed
Steen,
day, you know, heal up, and you have a Checkers heal up, and all these guys like.
I said it a few weeks ago. I think with Steen, I honestly think they were probably waiting for Cameron to maybe get injured for a few weeks at some point, and they might have given him an opportunity. But Cameron just didn't miss, and he's been outstanding all year. So I think the opportunity just never came up for Steen because there was never the spot.
Yeah, but and that's like I know there's like systems and structures in place, but like I feel like sometimes you just got to throw the rule book or the tactical book out the door and just be like, you can take a contested mark, get the hell onto that field and take a contested mark inside our forward 50. Like it just needs to be that blunt and that, I guess, raw from like whoever's, you know, from Fly or whoever is like whoever's job it is to say that, like, you know, just to have you know, especially that like Adelaide game and like how bad we were in terms of converting our shots and not hitting those targets inside forward 50. Like, yes, it's only 3 points that we lost by, but it definitely costed us the win. Like, you get someone that's like an Oscar Steen. It doesn't matter if Oscar Steen's played 0 games or 100 games or whatever, but like, it's a guy that's over 200. I think he's 201 centimeters off memory, and he has taken contested marks in the VFL. He takes 2 contested marks. That's 2 shots on goal. And we've seen as well too in the VFL when he has a shot if he has a set shot, he's actually like pretty straight when he kicks them. So
Look, it would have been asking a lot to debut a kid against Adelaide in a game that we sort of just had to win to make top 4. In the end, we made top 4 because of other results, but you would have been asking a lot
this is talking
of a
about round
kid.
like 16 or something. Like, what about the
Agree,
Richmond game?
absolutely.
Like, what about like
Absolutely.
any game after the Carlton game, we could have done it because again, it's a bit
Absolutely.
of like forward thinking that needed to be had.
Absolutely.
You know, like
I
okay,
agree
we can lose all
100%.
these games. All right, play a Steen, play a obviously not a Harry DeMadier because like his go might be next year or the year after, but like
Sorry.
roll the dice and like rest a few of these players. Like,
how would you just pronounce his name?
Harry DeMadier.
Isn't it DiMattia?
It's DiMattia.
It's either either.
As the token Italian, as the token Italian here, it's DiMattia.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Thanks, 2 of us, mate.
In fairness, I have heard it both ways, but I've heard DiMattia more often.
Well,
so
anyone know what the weather forecast is for tomorrow night in Adelaide?
Sunny.
It's been pretty fucking sunny here the past few days, so.
All right. Yeah.
It's going
to
be 10 degrees.
What? Yeah, I live in South Australia, man.
Oh, okay. I was about to say because, like, obviously Victoria and South Australia don't have the same weather.
Obviously.
Yeah, well, no, but that's what I'm thinking. Like, I thought you were in Victoria.
Nah, fuck that stupid state. Ew, I'm good.
All right.
You sure?
Yeah.
There's a lot of problems with that state.
I know
when problem is in the drinking water.
Yeah. when I do these streams, like I've got no fucking structure. Yeah, we just talk. Yeah, whatever. I don't know. I was just thinking in my head. We'll just go through every player one by one. We'll talk about that player, and if it goes off into a fucking tangent to all sorts of different things, so be it.
Fuck you, Darcy Moore. Fuck.
We'll just start with number one. Yeah. Sorry. From the top, Billy Frampton. Billy Frampton. So he's the last two times he's had Phil Thorpe's measure. Yeah. You can't really say much about the last game. Phil Thorpe had a couple of important contested marks, but he still did a job. And Frampton was fucking excellent against Melbourne.
Yeah.
This is still Thorpe's balls.
Yeah.
This is Billy Frampton. This is still Thorpe's balls.
Yeah.
Look, like I said about Frampton a few weeks ago, he's back to that 7 out of 10 every week reliable defender that we need.
Yeah.
And that's as simple as that.
Yeah. And it was a big mistake.
Look what happens when you don't move him around every week.
Yeah. And I reckon Fly made a mistake when Frampton was fit and he put him straight in the resis in the VFL and he played Charlie Dean. He should have just put Frampton in as early as possible just to get that cohesion back that we had at the start of the year. That was a big mistake, I reckon. Even Fly thinks back to that and thinks I fucked up. You know,
I will say this though. One of the things that could have gotten Dean that extra game is maybe they were looking at him in the sense of like, all right, let's play this guy an extra game because we just want to make sure if we're gonna delist him, we kind of want to make sure it's the right call. So because he played that good game against Richmond, they're sort of like, oh, hang on, here we go. And again, it is Richmond, again, it's not like I'm agreeing with this situation in terms of like it was the right call to do. But I think it was more, I think they were just checking to see that if he was the next person to sort of like, mold as that next defender, they wanted to make sure of it. Which again does sort of which obviously as we know, Dean's like just not up for it and he probably is gone at the end of the year. But they obviously wanted that extra game to make sure of it.
But I think the
injury
real quick. Anything to worry about with the Nick Dacos injury and the Geordie injury?
Nah,
not really.
Not at this
Not
stage.
Injury, but soreness.
Yeah.
I was on there.
Geordie was impact. IQ rolled across the back of his calf. I've had that plenty of times and it freaking hurts, but you just run with it. It's nothing.
Yeah.
They're all
I
hurt
think
this
probably more
time of
concerned
year.
with Nick than Geordie, but even then with Nick, we know we just know Nick's an absolute superstar, so he'll probably have a snap leg he'll probably snap his leg and he'll probably still run 20Ks. Like that dude's just a freak.
As John Garang said, Nick Dacos Achilles game incoming.
Well, like the flu game or something from Michael Jordan.
Yeah, literally. It's like Michael Jordan's flu game. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's go on. D Moore. If only Matt from Bangkok was in tonight, he'd have plenty to say.
Yeah, he would.
Look, I can kick us off with Moore.
Go on.
Yeah. We need a captain's game from him. I think Manny mentioned it the other week when Adelaide sort of had a plan against him. We need we need the captain to stand up tomorrow night. He's had a poor year. This is his chance to really just, it's one of those scenarios now where he can win this game for us. We know what he's capable of. We know he hasn't been up there this year, but if he's ever to have a captain's game, this is it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. One question I would like to put out to you guys.
I agree.
Because a lot of the talk has been, the fact that we kind of want to win and win with a fair margin, right? But like, we kind of all know that the inevitable is the fact that it's going to be a close game, probably less than 10 points. My sort of question is, do we sort of, with the fact that we're going to have that extra week off if we do win it and we go to a prelim, does that, I mean, obviously the extra week is going to help through like trying to recover and all this stuff. But do you think that the narrative that like it has to be not a blowout, but it has to be like, I don't know, over 30 points? Do you think that sort of situation is valid, given that we are going to have an extra week to rest?
No, I think you win no matter how you win. You got to get the job done. I think the week off, because look, I hate the pre-finals bye. I hate it very much, but it would really suit our senior list more than anyone. Same thing with Geelong. If both Collingwood and Geelong get the job done like tomorrow night and then Friday night, the week off really does refresh these older guys and make sure any bits of soreness and that sort of thing, you can also try and give them extra week recovery as well.
I think.
Did anyone go on, Tyler? Go.
Yeah, to add to Kev's point, I think tomorrow a win is a win. That's it.
Yeah,
that's it, man.
Because also as well, the extra week, I sort of, because that's the thing, I'm sort of thinking about it now, and as I kind of think if it is like one of those close ones and we win by, let's just say we like win by a point in like a nail biter, I don't think that it's probably going to be as because of the fact that we've been playing each week. It probably would play a factor if we're coming off a 6-day break. The fact that if we do have that win, we do get that extra week off. So maybe it is a factor of, if we get that extra week, the boys will probably be just as fresh as we need them to be going into a prelim. So like the fact that if it's a close one, maybe that's not that much of a factor.
I mean, but you look at the way that Sydney went into it last year as well. They got a close win against Giants, and then 2 weeks later they completely demolished Power. Same as us 2 years ago. We won against Melbourne. We came back and we won against GWS. So I think that for the smart coaches like Horse and Fly, they know how to manage the players better than anyone. Because the alternative is that if we lose against Adelaide and we play at MCG, we got to travel then for the prelims and then come back for the finals. That grand final, hypothetically, that's worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
because was the semi-final that we played against Freo, was that 22?
Sorry?
Yes.
The semi-final we played against Freo, was that 22? Because 23 we went straight to a prelim, right?
Yeah, no, 22. Yeah, Geelong went straight to a prelim. We went MCG, SCG.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so I think it's better.
And that's what makes it a bit difficult too, because you can't afford to have an interstate game, and then you have an MCG game, then you got to travel again, and because we've got an older list as well, and we're more experienced, it does hurt them more. So I think you're better off winning this week, and therefore you get an extra week off. You're playing at the MCG, and that way the boys are able to recover in time. And any injuries that Howe's got, any injuries that...
And the week off can help you too. You can get Jeremy Howe and Bobby Hill back.
Yeah, that's right. That's what I said.
That's true too.
And even that, hypothetically, if Geelong win, then I guess then the travel factor doesn't come in, because then it would be MCG all the way through.
That's correct. But you don't take that risk unless if you win.
Exactly. 100%.
Unless if you win like tomorrow night and then you win the prelim final as well. So
I know that. I'm just, as I said, the question was originally just like, if we go from qualifying to prelim, does it matter how fatigued we are going into that prelim we get the extra, like, you know, I don't know what the difference would be, but like, yeah, that
I
extra
don't
week
think
would
we-
it make a difference where it won't matter?
No, I don't think we're going fatigued. I think we're going fresher. Because I think
Yeah, no, but basically what I'm trying to say, because obviously you get the extra week, but I'm saying that if you have a close one, would the extra week not make it would not turn it into a situation of, are we going to be fresh enough because you get that extra week, right? That's basically what the question was.
I don't think I understand that, because a win is still a win, regardless of whether you win by 70 or by 1 point. Like, you get the extra week to
No.
break.
I'm saying, so basically in a situation, you win either way.
Yeah.
But like, obviously as fans, we want to win by say 30, 40 points because we want to like cruise through, you know, say 4.5, because you want to be as fresh as possible, right? But what I'm trying to say is that if we have the 2 weeks, because you get the week off, if it's a close one, it wouldn't be that much of a factor because of the 2 weeks.
No,
But regardless if you win
be.
by 40 points or 4
No.
points, the fatigue's not going to matter that much.
No,
it doesn't. It won't matter.
It wouldn't matter. No.
Yeah.
You still be fresh enough regardless. So. Yeah.
I mean, the thing, but the thing is, regardless of what happens tomorrow, I'm not sure who it was that said it. Every time we play Adelaide and every time Adelaide play us, it's a taxing game regardless of the result. So whoever wins is going to definitely benefit from that extra week.
Yeah, but if you get if you turn out to be the winners, though,
yeah,
you know, obviously that extra week is going to help big time.
Yes.
But if you have that taxing game and you lose, and you play, let's just say hypothetically, you play, I don't know who it would be, but let's just say, you know, we let's just say hypothetically we play a Hawthorn in the semi-final, that could be our season done right there.
Correct.
Of course.
So I'm not.
Of course.
So I'm not. But then I'm not understanding the question.
No, so yeah, I sort of put it into 2 questions in a bit. Basically, what I was saying is that from qualifying to prelim, does it matter if we win by 4 points or by 40 points? Because if you cruise through, yes, I know, I completely understand that, but I'm just saying that
I'm thinking more about the mental or
the fatigue part of it. Would there be a difference in the fatigue?
No, not at all.
Yeah, well, that was basically the question.
Yeah. Did anyone see the Into the Woods podcast with they had a few people on, and they had this
I did. Yeah.
They had this lady Paige. I think she works for the club, and she said about she said the problem with Darcy Moore is that he's just trying too much to do too many things. Like he covers, he tries to cover like when he should be on his man and just playing his normal role. I thought that was pretty incisive from her, and I actually agree. He seems to be trying to do too much, man. Sometimes you just gotta you got your role to play, man. Just stick to that, you know.
I listened to that podcast, and I completely agree. I think this is where I have a problem with Charlie Dean playing, because it was very evident that Darcy didn't trust him.
Yep.
Yeah.
But
and that's
also
where.
too, right? Don't forget they haven't played much like senior footy together. Because Charlie Dean plays more VFL than AFL, that's where the trust issue lays, right? So when they're training, right, they're not working on like a Charlie Dean, Darcy Moore, Billy Frampton situation. They're training as a defensive group, so they're training together. It's not like you're playing like a 6v6 and you get Charlie Dean, Billy Frampton, and Darcy Moore playing in the same team and then working on that chemistry. So I think that's why Darcy Moore has these trust issues, is because he hasn't play with Charlie Dean more often than not.
No, Charlie Dean's just not up to it. Full stop.
Yeah.
I mean, he could have all the trust in the world in him. He's not up to it. That is as simple as it is.
I think when it comes to Moore, I think he had also a ton of trust in Murphy, which I think that's also been a factor that has played into it. As much as he wouldn't trust Moore, but he wouldn't trust Dean, but I think he also, kind of in a good way, kind of in a bad way in a sense. Like he trusted Murphy way too much than he does. So when Murphy was out, if that trust is still there, that's when Moore gets exposed because he's like, oh, if I screw up or if I don't do this properly, at least, Murphy would save me or would save my ass basically. So because Murphy's not there anymore.
Yeah, it's very simple with Darcy Moore. I've seen the problem since Murphy's been gone. Every game he's stuck between two modes. Wanting to zone off and get himself in free positions so he can create run and take the kicks through the middle, or manning up on my man. And he's constantly stuck between these two roles, and in the end, he's in no man's land a lot of the time. Now, every game where he's been able to get a little bit of freedom and sort of move, it's the Darcy Moore that we all know. But it's when he's had to sort of stay on his man and sort of play a real defensive role. I feel that he's stuck between these two frames of mind where he still thinks, I got to take the game on. I'm the only one here that can take the game on a little bit out of this back line. And that's where it all comes unstuck. Unfortunately, we just have not been able to fix that problem all year. It's as simple as that.
I think
because it's a thing of he's trying to make the choice. Talking about the players in a sense, he's trying to be like, I'm trying to be a Frampton and I'm trying to be a Noble, when those two players are playing different roles.
Correct.
If you know what I mean.
He has to wear four hats.
This is where the problem was really obvious in the start of the opening round last year, where Murphy wasn't there, and you could see that Darcy was already going into two modes, like you were saying, that he doesn't know whether to stick to his man or to start intercepting and playing Murphy's role, and then he stopped doing nothing and then costing us everything. And then you look back and who was playing then? Charlie Dean.
Yeah.
So the problem was obvious at the start of last year, but they just never bothered to fix the problem. They just thought, okay, at some point it's just going to click, and it never clicked.
Yeah. So with help for Darcy Moore, someone said earlier, it's the obvious thing, Murphy going out. It's kind of fucked up Darcy Moore. We've missed out on JSOS because he's gone for the big bucks in St Kilda.
Yeah.
Earlier today, I found out through Sean on the Discord chat that Richmond delisted Jacob Blight, which I found confusing from their part. But since then, I've realised they've got a lot of fucking tall defenders, and I'm surprised he only played 7 games this year. But I reckon every game I saw him play this year, he was fucking okay. I reckon we've got to get this.
I spoke to a friend of mine who's a Richmond supporter, and he was I spoke to him tonight, and he was absolutely shocked that they delisted him. He was just like, I just don't understand. How, why? I mean, again, I don't know in terms of how much level he because I haven't known him for too long, so I don't know if he's what type of level of supporter he is, if he's a clued in supporter or not, sort of thing. But the fact that he obviously knew who he was, he is a guy who turns up every week, watches all the Richmond games. But straight away he was like, I don't know why they delisted him, because obviously he must have been doing something that he wasn't supposed to. Maybe he was doing something behind the scenes or whatever. But he was shocked. He was completely don't know how this happened, but I guess this happened.
He's only 23. He's a good height.
Yeah.
And,
he's 196 centimeters.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we should make a play
Go on, go Tyler.
No, that was it. I think there's definitely a potential there with him, especially if he's like this guy. Yeah, that Stefano said, he can't be worse than Charlie Brown.
Yeah. Someone in the
we
chat.
had a spot to fill. We have a spot to fill there, right?
Yeah.
Now, in the middle of the year, there was a little bit of rumours that we were maybe potentially going to get in Adam Tomlinson. So that already tells me that they know the holes there. So, you know, I can almost guarantee in the off-season they're going to target one or two of these sort of on the fringe guys or list guys, because we can all see. I think even a passive Collingwood supporter can see that the defence is nowhere near where it needs to be.
Yeah, I mean, I think just the simple fact that we were going after JSOS shows that the club knows that we need a defender.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Is Aaliyah a free agent?
As well too. No, so you got to. Oh wait, who are you talking about?
Aaliyah from GWS. Is he a free agent?
No, he's out of contract. He's only been in the league for like 4 years, 5 years.
Yeah. What about Schoenmakers from St Kilda? Schoenmaker.
Well, who knows what's happening with St Kilda?
The Tassie kid.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll look that up.
Yeah.
Ari Schoenmaker.
Yeah.
Because someone said in the chat earlier. Here we go. Voidoid. It's arrogant for our club to go into another season with no defensive backup. So we're definitely going to pick a tall defender up from someone. We just have to. It's necessity now.
It almost seems inevitable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, too, when I found out when Jack Savani signed for Sekiro, I was thinking, oh fuck, for fuck's sake. But also, I think that if we had Jack Savani in our back line, he would not just start every week, but if we have to manage plays, if we had an injury, it wouldn't matter, because at least we would have had Jack Savani down there. Now we don't. Now we have to go with plan B, plan C, that sort of thing now, to trying to get a key defender in case we do manage plays, or if we do have injuries like Tia House or Billy Franklin or Darcy Moore, at least that you could find that player and you can afford to rest a few as well. So, yeah.
I mean, I think but I think the thing with Jack Silvani as well is that we've got gaps in our defense because of injuries, and we were relying on a player who's injury prone. Like, I think this is a blessing in disguise for us.
Yeah,
like,
on that Irish Schoenmaker, he's out of contract this year.
Yeah. Harry Edwards from West Coast. I like him, man, only because he was taking a million fucking intercept marks against us when we played that game.
How
we decided to play fucking 5 talls or something in the forward line. I reckon if this comes to pass that Bobby Hill or Ed Allen want to go back west, I reckon Harry Edwards would have to be in some kind of deal. I don't know. But, yeah, he really impressed me against us.
Yeah, spot on, Mick.
But Mello's right.
If you could add...
we need someone ready-made.
Yeah, if you could add Hamish Davis to that trade as well too, I'd be over the moon. That kid's going to be a star.
Yeah. Who's that, sorry?
Hamish Davis. He's literally if you combine Penderbury and Swan, that's literally Hamish Davis. He's got the body of Penderbury and the footy skills of Dane Swan.
Fuck. I've never heard of this guy, man. Who's he play for?
West Coast.
Okay.
He got picked up in the last draft.
Okay.
Yeah, he went at a ridiculously low pick because apparently the media were claiming that Plyce had interest, but we completely passed on him. And West Coast got him at I think he was picks, I don't know, late 60s, early 70s, really 65. Late. 65. There you go. It was really late. I'm pretty sure what's his name? Hayes went earlier than that. So
Yeah.
so clearly we had no interest at the time, but yeah, he's just one of those guys. Like he's very like light in his frame because it's only his first AFL season. But
Yeah.
you give him a couple of pre-seasons under his belt, and you get him to bulk up. That kid's going to be something special. Like I can just already see it.
Yeah. Look at this comment from Voidoid, man. It's so poignant, man. If Hawks can pinch 2 KPDs, then why is it taking us 2 years and counting not to get a KP? That shits me. Fucking Hawks got fucking Barras and Battle, man. Oh, I can't believe we should have got at least one of those, man. I remember
especially as well, especially because
we were in the
shits me
mix
because
too
with
for that.
Barras could have been so gettable by us.
Yeah.
Because we could have easily given them a first and a second. Instead of getting Houston, we could have got Barras because that's basically what we gave up for Houston. We could have got Barras.
Yeah.
Because Barras is, and not only that, he's also good friends with Darcy Cameron. So, you know, Darcy Cameron could have been on the phone to him and being like, hey, you interested? Like, apparently they're like really close and everything. So,
I mean, people thought the same thing about JSOS and Houston, that was a sure thing for Collingwood because they were so close, and look where that turned out.
I was just about to say, can DC get on the phone to Silvani too?
Yeah. Look, but having said that,
Barras,
Tyler, sorry, Age.
No,
having said, go, Age. You go.
No, sorry, just a quick one. The thing with Barras, you got to understand, Mitchell was involved at West Coast for a few years there, and obviously Mitchell's the coach of Hawthorn. I think that might have been something that was already sort of in the planning for a few years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just going on what Tyler said, with Houston, the jury's still in, man. We could win the next 3 games, and Houston could be a fucking star playing on a fucking wing instead of on the in the back line and fucking win us a flag, and then it's a totally different story. But obviously, he's had a underwhelming season.
Yeah.
So you're right now. Right now, you're right. But I reckon he's got a couple of good games in him for us in this finals series.
Yeah.
But also as well, I don't even argue. I think that's more the club's fault than Houston's fault. I feel like every time Houston's played this year, he's never been bad. He's just been quiet, and I feel like there's a difference between the two. Houston's been quiet this year, but he's not been bad. Every time he's had the ball, he's like hit his targets. He's done the right thing. He's shown composure in the back line, being a back pocket.
Yeah.
But we never really gave him that opportunity to play half back outside of maybe 2 games, if that. And now that we're like, oh damn, let's throw him on a wing, and then we sort of find out, oh, he actually has a bit of a tank. Oh, he's got a bit of experience. Oh, he can hit his targets when he kicks the ball. Oh damn, because he's on the wing, he can go to half forward or be like 70 meters out, 60 meters out. Oh damn, he can actually hit a target inside forward 50. Oh wow, we've actually got a play here. Like it's all. I don't know about you guys, but it's like this whole like.
No, I agree.
Being like surprised of it. I'm surprised that they're surprised because it's like, isn't that what you got to meet here for?
I mean, I think the thing which I think was unfair with Houston, just to add to Sean's point, is that we were judging Houston based on how he was playing at Port, but if he was not allowed to be playing the same way, we can't be judging him based on a different metric. He was playing adequately. He wasn't playing at Houston levels, but I don't think the system allowed him to. And I think, as to what Sean's saying, in the last couple of weeks, we've allowed him to do that, and we've seen, oh, hang on, he can play.
Yeah, the best halfback in the comp can play well at halfback. Who would have thought?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly right, Sean.
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of because he sort of had the once we gave him that sort of Nick Dacos role in 22, where Nick Dacos was our halfbacker. That's basically his role. Like he's supposed to be the lead singer in the band. But the fact that we made him play bass guitar for a bit in the in the back pocket, that's why he didn't have the numbers that he was supposed to have. And
That's the best analogy I've ever heard in my life, mate.
I think
that's brilliant, man.
Yeah, but like it's like like at the end of the day, it's like put the players in positions to succeed. Like, and in saying that, I'm not like trying to get on Josh Dacos here because Josh has had a great year as well, being a halfback. But at the same time, it's like he was already a good player on the wing.
Yeah.
Like, why are we like trying to rob Peter to pay Paul when we've already got like a all-Australian wingman? Just play Josh Dacos on the wing, play Houston a halfback. If we have injuries and some of that, cool. You can throw Houston to the back pocket because he can do it. It's not his main role, but he can do it, as we've like seen. Like I just sort of again, it's like if you have these players that are ultra talented, put them in their main positions.
That's
it's
exactly
like
right.
with Tom Mitchell when he was at Hawthorn in his last year, and people like, when he came over to Collingwood, like I'm still confused to this day, where like people are like, but Tom Mitchell's going to be playing VFL when he comes over to you guys. He's no good. Oh, there's a reason why he's playing half forward. Like, no, he can still win the ball, but because he's playing a half forward, he's not going to play his best football because it's not his main position. That's like putting Jared Blair in the rock and being surprised that Jared Blair's not winning a hit out. Like, that's not his thing. I know obviously height's got to do with it a bit, but like, it's like put players in positions to succeed, not to do the opposite.
I mean, that's the like to add to what Voidwood's saying right now. It's like we've got a system here that sometimes doesn't seem to work when we've got a dual All-Australian halfback, All-Australian wing. We've got Nick Dacos and everyone else, and then we're wondering, how come they're not thriving in their system or in their roles? It's because they're not playing their roles.
Yeah.
And then we're judging
again, you put Houston in the 2022 Nick Dacos role, where it was don't care, pass it to Nick, let Nick kick the ball. You give Houston that role, we get the Port Adelaide Houston again.
Exactly.
Like,
Look, the true test on Houston will be next year. We were saying the same thing about Schultz last year, who I thought was really good regardless. But,
back half a year, he was
sometimes,
very good,
Look, he hasn't been deplorable. I think it was one of those things where everyone was just expecting him to be the exact same player. He hasn't been the exact same player. It could be a number of reasons. We don't know. I would just say, look, give him a pass this year. Next year's really the test. But to be fair, if he's played out of position, which it seems like he sort of has been, then you're not going to get the same player. It's 100% correct.
Yeah, completely agree.
I have a question.
Go on, Chris.
If we got Travis Boak, would that make Houston better?
I think it may.
in kind of what way though? Because if you're like, because with the Boak, he'll be a development coach if we do get him. Hopefully he plays VFL, but that's probably up in the air. But what sort of role are you expecting Boak to have at the footy club?
Yeah.
Well, maybe a coaching role to work with Houston, make him a better player coaching.
But like Boak's a midfielder though, like if he, I guess if Houston's playing on the wing, then yeah.
Yeah, look, I think there's too much. Yeah, too much up in the air with that. We just have to park it for this year. I think it's a next year's conversation.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I'm gonna head off. Gotta get up in the morning.
No worries, Kev. You have a good one, mate.
Yeah, you too, boys.
Catch you later, bro.
See you, Kev.
I've got one name I'm going to mention now. All right, I'm expecting a bit of derision from you guys. I'm just going to say the name, Stephen May.
No, bring him in.
Yeah, what's up? What's going on?
Would you take him?
I would.
I would as well, man. I know he's a fucking prick, He's a fucking prick that fights his own fucking teammates and shit. But he can do a job for 2 years, man. It'll just help us.
Yeah.
And I know many
It
guys
sort
they
of
won't be
depends
happy
on
with
his
what I
price
just said,
too.
but
Like, yeah, if you get him as like a third round pick or something, or you get him in somewhat cheap, then
Yeah.
it's like, okay, well, what's the harm in it, if you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah,
You can,
if we're paying like premium, or not premium, but if we're paying anything more than a high second,
yeah.
then I'm pretty sort of like, yeah, I'm pretty against it, to be honest. But again, you get him for like a third round pick, take his salary for a little bit, then at least you know you got a proven defender.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think yeah. If it's for a third round pick, I'm happy with it. Anything second or higher, no.
Look, Stephen May, the player, absolutely. I would look at him and say, yep, he probably feels exactly what we sort of need right now. Compliments Frampton, frees up more. But to be honest, I just think he's a toxic character. Full stop. He seems to be involved with everything that's gone wrong at Melbourne the last 2 or 3 years. Seems to have some Stephen May sort of now. And the other thing is, Melbourne's a small club in terms of like clickbait and all these things, and he still blows up on the. Imagine him at Collingwood with a misdemeanor or two, or some toxic traits out there. It will be an absolute shit show. So I would just pass. But you know what? As a footballer, absolutely, he would feel the need.
Yeah.
But do you think that that's a problem, like we had with Guinea here, that maybe that club's just not right for him?
Maybe.
Like you're completely right. It might not be worth the risk because it's a big risk to pay, and that's why like he may have thrived at the Suns, because I think he was at the Suns, right?
Yeah, co-captain.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because there's no media there.
Absolutely.
So you could be right there. It might not be worth the risk, but it could be that he's at the wrong club. Because from the way that I've talked about it with my Melbourne colleagues, they think he's completely checked out of the club.
I think a few have at Melbourne, to be fair.
Yeah. So that's why they don't really hold what he does in not in a bad, like in a negative light, because they see that that club's just toxic. Like he's not the be all end all. He's part of the problem. He's not the problem.
Oh no! Look, I'm not sitting here.
To the question then, if he is checked out, when did he check out though? Because that story that came out when he was with Melksham, and him and Melksham had like a punch on and stuff. Like, was he checked out then?
That's why I think. That's why I think with someone like. Sorry, you go.
No, I was just going to say, do we really want players that check out at other clubs though?
Yeah.
I would rather fierce competitors.
Yeah.
See, I think I don't know whether you want them checked up. I think if you know that the season's done, I wouldn't hold it against them.
Yeah, it kind of depends on the context. Like, context matters with that.
I would hate if our season was done and we had players checking out. I would see that as a complete weakness of character, personally.
Yeah, I can see that. Well, then in 21, we checked out last couple of games. Were you upset with that?
What was that at the end of 21?
In the season of 2021, we checked out, and what was our last 2 to 3 games? Were you would you be on the same bandwagon with that in terms of?
Yeah, so the Robert Harvey sort of last 10 games or whatever it was, that period. Yeah. And look, you're right. That comparison is what Melbourne's probably going through right now. Yeah, no, 100%. I remember that period of time. I went to a few games and that, and you could see a lot of players that dropped their head.
In terms of the situation, would you if you're dissatisfied of getting May and stuff because of all the he's been checked out, or basically the main question is would you in a sense keep the same energy as Collingwood probably did that in the 21 season?
In term I'm
in terms
not
of like
sure
us
of the
checking out,
question.
because we lost our. Oh god, we've gone back a while now, but you could definitely tell there was at one point where we're just like we're done, and it wasn't the last game of the round.
Yeah.
I think it was our last 5. No, I think it was the Richmond game that we won. After that, we basically like, I think we basically ended the season then. Basically, the memory could be wrong because there was a couple of games left after the Richmond game.
What was the question?
Yeah, I'm not sure of the question.
Oh, sorry. So in terms of like, because obviously like with the whole Stephen May like checking out, would you be just as upset with like Collingwood given that we did the same thing in 21?
Oh,
not really.
Absolutely. Look, I'm going to be upset if our team ever checks out in any scenario. But what I'm saying is we're targeting a player from a team that's where he's checked out, sort of thing. Does that make sense? I just see that as
I'm not like the question wasn't to like get you or anything. I'm just sort of trying to understand where you're coming from. That's all.
My thing with this, see, for example, like I see with a club like Melbourne where they're in turmoil this year, pretty much for like until, or not up until, but I think after they lost to us where their finals was completely done, their coach is almost on the way out. I don't hold it against them. Like I see exactly where you're coming from, but I wouldn't use that as a direct negative unless there was such a negative force on their club. Like that's the way that I sort of see it. Like I don't know, but that's just me.
Yeah, because also like 21, so the end of 21 for our season, a lot of the players did check out, but that's probably because of Buckley was gone. Everyone was sort of like, all right, let's focus on the season 22. Let's start fresh.
Yeah.
New club, new attitude. Like you can kind of forgive players like that, but but then I guess for an example, you look at Essendon's last 2 to 3 years where it's basically their last 2 to 3 games. Like they probably have an average losing margin of over 10 goals with 3-4 games to go in the season. So that's I can understand if you're an Essendon supporter and you're upset and frustrated with that because it's you want to have a team that doesn't check out like that, especially when the margins are so large because it's sort of a bit of I don't know. If I'm not saying obviously I am an Essendon supporter, but if I was, I'd feel pretty insulted by that because it is that thing of, how can you drive that narrative of we're trying to compete every week when it's when it gets to the end of the season and you're losing by over 10 goals for the last month of football, that's a bit sort of you want to be a part of a culture that's always competing, right?
Yeah. I think if it became a behavior, a pattern of habit, then that's concerning. If it's one season, then I'd try and look at the circumstances rather than write them off completely.
Yeah, I can agree to that.
And would you really want Stephen May after? Would you really want Stephen May after what he did to Max Gawn? Like if he did that to one of our players?
Yeah.
Just on that specifically, I don't think that's a deal breaker. Because I mean, look back in 2010, Maxwell and Heath Shaw used to do that all the time, and it wasn't an issue then. I guess it sort of maybe depends on maybe. I don't want to say character because it seems like that can go down a bad path that I probably don't want to go down, but Maxwell seemed to be very understanding, but also very hard as well. He's a very, as much as he's a leader that's that'll get you through the tough times, but he'll also be the one to put you on your back if you're not trying to pull your weight. If that makes any sense.
And I think if you listen to Max Gawn after that Steve May thing, he put himself to blame 100%, and I think it was one of the Triple M interviews. He said that he was right to do it, like there was nothing in it. Like it probably looks really bad optically, but he said he was completely right, and he says he expects nothing else. Like he should be told that it was wrong rather than say, "Oh no, don't worry, better luck next time."
Yeah. Yeah,
All right, guys.
Like, Maxwell and Heathshaw used to do it all the time.
Yeah. All right, we'll move on from Stephen May fucking talk. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
This dude here, mate, he's going to be very important tomorrow night, mate.
Yeah.
If we play Houston on a wing, this guy and IQ and Perryman are going to be fucking important getting that ball out of the defense. And this guy's another finals fucking specialist, man. Anyone want to add to this guy?
What can we say about him that we don't already know?
Yeah, just make sure Fly plays him in that Nick Dacos of 22 role. Just play him at a halfback and just if you see him, hand pass it to him. If he's a bit further away, kick it to him. He can kick the ball and hit targets. Use it.
Yeah. Now I know we play a fucking a zone defense, whatever, a system defense, whatever the fuck they say. Yeah. But you know when like the game's on, Frampton gets Philthorpe, Darcy Moore gets Walker, and Maynard gets Fogarty. All right, they swap around because of the system and the defense and all that. Do you think there's an argument to say that we need one more tall in defence for tomorrow?
Yes.
Yeah. I think that's
because it worked so well last time.
Yeah.
Like if you look back to the game that we played them against, even just the whole team in general, like what are our changes? It's really isn't it just McStay out and Cox in? Because Parker was already playing and Howe was Parker was already playing, Howe wasn't.
Yeah.
So outside of those changes, was there any more changes? Like from the team that we played against Adelaide last time to this time?
Yeah.
No.
It's the same. Yeah, it's pretty much the same team, apart from McStay and Howie. You know, Howie didn't even play. What I was saying.
And defense wasn't the issue. It was going inside 450 that was the issue.
Yeah, just to add to that, I haven't understood the media reports this week where they say, "Oh, we just don't know how Collingwood are going to cover without Howe there." We played without Howe against Adelaide 3 weeks ago, and we kept them to 3 points. It was our forward entries that was a problem.
Yeah,
and they're playing without Rankin.
Yeah.
And then they make it seem like we're going in with like this half-wounded team, like we're playing like with our seconds, when we're going in pretty much with the exact same team minus McStay.
Yeah, and they don't have Rankin, so they're basically like in a weird way, they're basically saying that McStay's a bigger out than Rankin, which obviously I disagree with, especially with the full McStays.
No way.
Yeah, they make it seem like Howe's going to be such a massive out, considering he contributed nothing to our win last time because he wasn't there.
Yeah.
It's
a bit hard to impact the game
Bobby.
if you're not on the ground.
Yeah.
See this bloke on the screen?
Have Bobby playing.
Yeah.
This bloke on the screen. All right. Is he warranted with earning 900 G's a year?
I think so.
You think so?
Mate, he's an unsung hero. He was sensational last week against Melbourne.
Yeah.
He just does his job.
Give me a second.
Week
I'll
in,
try and
week
see if I can
out.
find a tweet.
Can I just say
that I posted in the preseason?
I was listening to one of the Blues podcasts earlier today who was trying to suggest that a Perryman is basically a hat kicker through and through. And I'm like,
he's a good kicker.
He's an excellent, like he's an excellent kicker. Yeah, the guy said before. Sorry, I forgot the name. He's an unsung hero.
Yeah. And look, I would love to see him play as an inside mid, man. I'd love to see. I wish they tried that a lot more this year, man. I reckon.
I agree with that.
I've got a sneaking suspicion he'd do a better job than Long's done. You know, like Long had a sensational start to the year, but he's dropped off. But this guy's much more experienced. He's a big body. He's a good kick, and like when he's around that 50, he's got an eye for goal. You know, and like I'm surprised Fly hasn't put him in the midfield. I know we've needed him down back, and he can play tall and small. But fuck, man.
Well, I think that's the thing I don't realize. He actually does play midfield in certain patches, but just not throughout the whole match. Because he does start in the square, I think, like 12% of the time.
Yeah.
But it's just not enough because he's basically a plug and play system, but he's been a plug and play player. But he's played his role.
He's another one of those guys that's just been a victim of the fact that none of our mids really this year have been injured. Like that,
exactly.
I think there would have been a plan to play him a lot there in the middle, but we just haven't had midfield injuries this year. So I think he's sort of just been on that second, third line, and he's just never really been given the opportunity. But yeah, Mick's 100% right. I reckon he would be capable of a 25 possession, hard, tough game every week if he was playing in the middle.
Yeah.
Easily.
And I remember you did. Go, Tyler, go.
Yeah, Boydon is completely correct. The actual scary thing with Pez is that he's not being used to his full potential.
Yeah.
He's just a victim of his own versatility.
Yeah. And like I remember playing for GWS. He did it against us. I'm pretty sure he was playing midfield. And like I'm thinking, mate, what a pickup. But yeah.
Mick, if you remember the final quarter for the against GWS in the prelim, he was the last line in defense, defending everything, and the whole time thinking, if only we had someone like this that was basically going to defend at the last line. Like in the final minutes, he was the line, he was the man.
Yeah,
and that's why, like, as soon as I heard that a Flying Co were interested in him, I thought, what an acquisition! This guy is going to be an asset for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm also just looking through my tweets as well. Back on the 11th of September, I basically said Perriman is a very underrated choice. Basically, that Hoskin type, but can also go inside. Basically go into the midfield and play that inside role. Very tough. And then what was it? November. Basically said people aren't ready for how valuable Perriman is going to be. Don't be sleeping on him. That was back in November.
Completely agree.
All right. But
and then I basically had pretty much just tweets just saying that if you think that 900k is overs, give it a few months and you'll be saying it's unders.
Yeah.
Look, the 900k, you've got to put it to a side because you pay that much for the fact that you don't have to trade capital for him. You know, his market value is probably 700, 750, but to get him as a free agent, you don't give up anything. You're more than happy to pay that extra 10, 20%. That's my view anyway.
Yeah. Also as well, that also needs to be noted too, because this is a rule that the AFL has. When you go as a free agent, they don't they look at how much money you're having in the in terms of the average, but it's also heavily indicated how much you get in your first year. There was a report that Houston was on 1.2 mil in his first year, which is why Giants got a first round pick in the end from the Perriman acquisition. So if that's also the case that his first year he's on 1.2 mil, that means if he's on an average of 900, it means that he's going to be on less. Going forward, whatever the average is out to be. So after this season, if that report is true, we're probably looking at Perriman being on, say, 800k, somewhere around there. If that's obviously the case, then that just makes the deal even better.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I'm going to introduce someone that's waiting to come on. I think we've spoken to him before. His name's Pie Good Guy. I'm having fucking nightmares from last week when I had all these trolls. So we'll see how we go. If he's a troll, I'll be quick to take him off. But I don't think he is. I think he's all right. Pie Good Guy.
Howdy, can you hear me?
All good, mate. What do we call you? Do we just call you Pie Good Guy?
I told you last time, a couple of weeks ago. Darren, yeah, just call me Darren or Daz or whatever. I hate that name. I hate my name, so I had to make up something. So being a Pie supporter, and I'm a pretty good sort of guy, so yeah, you can call me Darren if you like, but yeah, I don't mind being Pie Good Guy. Hey, listen, I tuned in a little bit earlier and caught up with what you were saying, and then I had phone problems, and then my missus said, "Oh, don't forget this tomorrow." So, because she's working full shift tomorrow, and I've got a bit of time off, and she wants me to go shopping and all that sort of stuff. So I'm picking up all the slack tomorrow, and then I've got the stress of worrying about the pies tomorrow night. I don't need all this sort of extra work, but maybe it'll keep me busy and stop me from worrying about tomorrow night's result. But yeah, so what are we thinking, fellas? What are we thinking about tomorrow night? Are we apprehensive about what might happen? Are we cautiously optimistic, or we're red hot underdogs, aren't we?
We are. That's good, man. And I'm quietly confident, Darren, mate. I reckon I've been saying it for 2 weeks now, mate. I reckon we'll win by between 20 and 30. And I'm confident, man. I reckon we got it.
Yeah, hope you're right. Yeah. I suppose the only thing that's worrying me a little bit, I think the bye's probably good for us. I don't know whether it's going to be good for them, because I think they've won nine in a row. I think Adelaide. I think somebody told me they won, I think, 9 straight before the week off. So they've sort of their momentum stopped. But then I look at their last 2 weeks. They got over the line, beating the Eagles by just 9 points, and then they only beat the Kangas by a couple of goals, round 24. So maybe they were having their little dip like we were last month, but we've had a pretty big dip. That wasn't a little dip. We had a pretty big dip. That's the only difference, I think. Maybe their big dip's coming. Maybe we can send them into a big dip tomorrow night, and they might have trouble getting out of it. But I've been reading a lot of I don't go on social media a lot because you get a lot of crap. Like you said, you get a lot of wankers. They just absolutely hate Collingwood. And I've been watching a lot of the footy shows and things like that last few days, and we're copping it from the media, from the journos, from the commentators, not really giving us much chance. But then you read some of the rubbish on social media and all of that. I don't know whether they're all Crows supporters or they just hate Collingwood, but I tell you what, some of the crap that they're coming out with and the vindictive, horrible stuff, like personal remarks. I mean, everyone may or may not like Mason Cox, may or may not like Nick Dacos, or may not like, Dan McStay, but some of the personal stuff they've been targeted just the last few days, and I don't know whether it's a real hatred out there, and I reckon it's got worse since the last time we played the Crows. I reckon there's a real hatred out there for us.
Yeah, but that
I think there's jealousy, there's a little bit of hatred, but I think more so this time. I just want to send them. I want to whack their smiles off their faces. These people, I know we can't see. There's so many of them. They're so behind. They're working these keyboard warriors, and I don't know whether they're Crows people or not. I just want to see their faces after tomorrow night. I hope we can get the smile off their faces, even though we probably can't see who they are. I just want to see what they've got to say about themselves if we can prove them wrong. I just want to prove these people, these bastards, wrong. I really do. I'm really hating the crap that's coming out of these people's faces. I reckon some of them are probably not even Crow supporters. I think they've just got a hate for Collingwood.
It's from what I've seen, it's not even Crows supporters. I think I can take you can take a bit of banter. It's mainly Carlton supporters.
Yeah, they got nothing else to do,
They've got
mate.
literally nothing else. Worry about your own backyard.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah,
still
I think you're right. I think it's a
Ryan
mixture of supporters. Yep, go on. Go on, yeah.
No, that was it. That was my point.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. My mate said the same thing tonight. He's a Richmond supporter. He said, it might be the Carlton supporters that are really cheesed off that they had another shit year. And maybe and we get a bit of that. And we throw a bit at them as well, obviously. We throw a bit back. But, what do you reckon about the crowd tomorrow night? How many thousands are going over for us? I know there's X amount of buses and so forth, but, I think it's going to be much more evenly balanced compared to last time we played them. And I reckon the start's going to be so important. Remember we got that 3-4 goal start last time. I reckon the Crows will try and stop that from happening tomorrow night, and they'll try and get on top of us early. But got to be ready to play our best football early and quieten that crowd down.
Yeah, I reckon they'll come out fucking all guns blazing, and that's why I reckon we got to throw a spanner in the works and just start Big Meso in the ruck at the start, so they don't get any fucking cheapy fucking centre clearances to give him momentum. I reckon if Cox starts in the ruck, he'll get the first tap out. I'd love to see Cox in the ruck and Geordie, Nick and Pendles. The dream team starting in the centre there, and hopefully get a few centre clearances out. Just snuff out their momentum and just hopefully something like that happens, man.
Yeah, and we're not going to get crazy 71 inside 50s last time, so they'll have a plan to stop that from happening. But if we can get sort of like high 40s or 50 something, early 50, low 50s, and it's going to be a dry game this time. So I mean, we're not going to get 71 50s, but I think Cox, if he plays, he's going to do a bit of rucking. I think centre in the centre, obviously, and allow Darcy Cameron to do a bit more of a defensive role and try to take those marks and help the defenders out, obviously, and he'll probably do a bit of rucking there as well. But Mason will probably ruck up forward, and hopefully he'll have clean hands. He'll take a few grabs. He only needs to take 2 marks and kick 2 goals. If it is a tight one, we need some of the other guys to stand up. I know you guys have been on about our forward line, and McStay's copped it this week, obviously, poor form, but there's a few that are not far behind him. Checkers, obviously, needs to pull his finger out. I mean, he wants a new contract, doesn't he? But or a better contract, but he has to perform to get it, I think.
Yeah, fucking oath, mate. I expect a minimum of 2 goals from Checkers. He owes us one, mate. He owes. He's had a nice career with us. We've asked a lot of him. He's been banged up, but now we really need him, mate. He got fucking schooled by the Irishman a couple of weeks back, and I know he's a proud guy, mate. He'll be fucking burning, mate. So
it needs to be. Yeah. He's a fight. He's a proven finals player. He needs to just show it. Just needs to show everyone he can do that. And we're not expecting him to kick 5 goals. He just clunk a few marks. Go back. Have the confidence to kick the goals. That's what forwards are paid to do. Cox is down there, obviously, hopefully to mark a few and kick a few too, but then gets the likes of, I hear still Sidey's going to play up forward. I hear that they'll probably play Chris across the forward line a little bit. Geordie will go down there. And now we need Jamie Elliott. So any marks that aren't cleanly taken by Checkers or Mason or Tim Membry, who'll probably play a bit forward of the 50, let those other guys get in front of the pack and maybe a couple, get ready for anything that goes behind the marking contest and swoop on the ball. I mean, there's no reason why those other guys can't kick 6 or 7 between them. You know, that's what we were lacking last time we played the Crows.
Yeah, and that's what shits me. Like the first half of the year, we were like the best team in the league with efficiency going inside 50. Like we would have the best score rate from our inside 50s, and then that's just fucking dried up now. Hopefully, Fly's just worked out some kind of way that we can return to that efficiency, man. Because when we get a run on, when the midfield's fucking humming and we're fucking doing those handball chains through the middle, no one can stop us, mate. No, at our best, we're the best, yeah. And I don't think opposition fucking and journos are taking that into account, mate. At our best, we're the fucking best, mate. I don't care what anyone says, mate.
Yeah, I reckon. I was one of the commentators a couple of days ago who said that Collingwood are not a quick side. They're not a quick running side, but they are quick at moving the ball. And when they're quick at moving the ball, they're one of the best in the comp. And that's what we were doing so well in 2023. And it showed us how well we did that and got those quick goals towards the midway through of that, final quarter in the grand final against Brisbane, which sort of like, got us a bit of momentum. Unfortunately, they came back late, but we held on in the end. But, I mean, that's as good as we played, and we need it. But I also think our coaching's been a little bit indifferent. I think the players have been a bit confused. As I heard Fly say the other day, don't be boring, move the ball quicker, don't be negative. Don't be sort of like predictable. Move the ball quicker. Why are we doing that? Don't be boring. And there he was against Melbourne in the last quarter. He wanted to see it, but I think as supporters, we're a bit confused ourselves as to what is the actual game plan from quarter to quarter. It seems to stop. A lot of things tend to change with us, whereas if you look at what we were doing in 2023, you could generally tell how well we were going because it was pretty much flat out. And yes, we won a lot of close games, but we did that because we were moving the ball quicker and we were catching the opposition, on the back foot a little bit there with some of the very late goals that we got, but we're not doing it as much now. And like that flyer that we got in the first quarter against Adelaide last time, and then suddenly, guess what? It all stopped. Everything went so quiet for us. We were moving the ball so much slower, and we were playing to the Crows' advantages then, because, and then those 50-50 things were going their way and not our way and all that sort of stuff. So we need everything to go our way, but we need to have the confidence, I think, to not necessarily just drop off and fall away and sort of thing and wait for the opposition to take the momentum off of us. We need to challenge those sorts of teams and make sure, okay, we're going to show you for as long as we can that we can move the ball fast, get obviously opportunities up forward, kick the goals. That's the main thing. Obviously, don't waste opportunities. Remember I said to you a couple of weeks ago when I was last on that the two most inaccurate teams in finals over the last 4 years have been the Brisbane Lions and Collingwood. We'll go back to the last two rounds of football, us and also the Lions. You go back to what the Lions did against the Hawks in round 24, where they kicked, I don't know, forget how many points it was, but a massive amount of points. I think they had about 17 or 18 extra shots at goal. And we're like that too. I mean, our kicking for goal this year's been pretty ordinary. And we win a couple of those other games this year, Freo and also Gold Coast, if we get a little bit more accurate in front of the sticks, and we finish top two. So it does cost you.
Fucking oath. Oh, yeah. And I can see, like, it's finals now, yeah, and you can only win if you play that ballsy type of game where you take the risks, yeah. And Fly's right, mate. Stop being boring and you take those punts. Like every now and then you'll fuck one up. You'll miss a target, you'll cop a turnover and cop a goal, but you just got to keep doing it. And that's what won it for us back in 2023, man. Just going for the ballsy plays, and it came off, And I just hope we can switch it on and fucking just win 3 in a row, bang, 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 and fucking just shove it up everyone.
We'd be shoving it up a lot of people. Don't worry about that. And as Pie supporters, we'd be absolutely loving it. And it's not all over. We're not in a grand final if we win tomorrow night. Long way from that, but we'd be, I think, be back on track. I think a lot of people think we're behind the 8 ball a little bit at the moment, and they're looking at our last 7 or 8 weeks. The Melbourne game is a better game, obviously, but it was Melbourne. Let's not muck around. It was Melbourne. And we've struggled to beat a top 8 team in the last 9 weeks. So, I'm quietly confident. But it really is up to the players, It really is up to players. If you look at our weaknesses over the last 7 weeks, it's got a lot to do with the players that have just been down on form. If they are playing better, we win probably at least half of those games that we lost in the last 6 or 7 weeks. There's just too many of our guys that aren't performing, and they just need to step up. This is finals. 2 chances, they've got to step up. And, I think everyone's under the pump. Everyone's got to be under the pump. It's got to be everybody putting their hand up tomorrow night, not just 1 or 2, not just Nick, not just Geordie. It's got to be everybody. They've got to put everybody that gets a black and white jumper on tomorrow night. They've got to make sure they win their position, beat their opponent, or at least break even, but beating their opponent. We don't lose if 75% of our players beat their opponent. And why can't we? Why can't we?
There's no reason why not.
Who says the Crows are that much better than us? They look great early in the season, but are they really? They really haven't been tested. Yet, as far as I'm concerned, it's easy to do all the right things to set yourself up for a minor premiership. And believe you me, there's a lot of minor premiers that have never made a grand final. Quite a few have fallen over in a grand final too, not won it. Best positions, actually, I think, from what I remember, somebody saying, if you finish second, you generally got I think it's about nearly 70% chance of winning the flag. But it doesn't make any difference. It's the start of a new season, like everyone's saying right now, and I don't think I don't think the Crows have been fully tested in over 4 quarters in a high pressure game. Here's our chance tomorrow to test how good these other guys are. They're younger, yes, they look good, home and away, yep, but we've got the experience. We need to show it, but we need to show it from the start. We can't relent. We're going to put the pressure on them and see if they're good enough to hold on to stay with us.
Yeah. Are you South Australian, Daz?
No, I'm not. No.
How come you pronounce chance as chance like Manny?
I don't know. I've probably been. I don't even notice those sorts of things. A lot of people think I'm actually from Queensland. Somebody only a month or so ago actually. I've never. I'll tell you a story. I've never been to Queensland. Never been to Queensland. But I was talking to a friend of mine that lives in Queensland now, and his missus. She's never actually heard me actually talk, guys, but she answered the phone, so I basically spoke to her, and she said, "You sound like a Queenslander." And I said, "Well, I've never been there, so I don't know how I've picked that up." So even she's saying that, but No, I call it as it is, mate.
That's it,
you
mate.
know,
That's it.
even some people reckon some people reckon got a bit of an English accent as well, but whatever. Don't call me a Crow. Don't call me a Port Adelaide supporter because I'll take offence to that because they're at the bottom of the list as far as I'm concerned. My second favourite team probably is the Giants. I don't know why, but if we don't win it, wouldn't mind them winning it. Personally, I probably won't watch too much football if we get eliminated, but I'll be in a shit for a while, I'd imagine, like most of us will be. But as long as I do have a couple of softies for a few of the other teams that probably don't have a massive amount of support, like the Giants. Even though they've stuffed us up a few times, I think, in recent years too, a couple of finals and things like that. But I can take them. I'd rather them win it than obviously a Carlton or something. What's going on? I'm really pissed off with have you been talking about Jack Silvani going to St Kilda? He's obviously made the decision to go.
Yeah, I think it's a done deal. Yeah.
Oh man, that was a real.
It's a bummer, but we're not paying him whatever they're paying him, like over 800 Gs. So we'll just offer him 600. So that's how it is.
So who?
Go on, go, mate.
I was going to ask you. I won't stay on the stream very long because I've got to start work in the morning. But now I've got to do the shopping straight after that. So I've got a busy day, like I said. But I don't know if I'll get any sleep. I hope I'll have a nice night tomorrow night with the footy. But out of the guys that we've got on our list, who do you think? Which guys do you think might end up leaving?
Sorry, Daz, you just dropped off there, mate. Still there, mate?
Might have lost him.
Yeah. He was
I think he might have been referencing to listings, maybe.
Yeah.
Possible trades.
Like Checkers or Billy.
Yeah. Yeah, Markov's gone. Mitchell's gone. If Cox doesn't have a fucking fantastic final series, he's gone. Who else can you think of?
Well, Will Hoskin-Elliott's gone. We know that.
Elliott, Finn McRae.
AJ. Well, basically half our VFL team's gone.
Yeah.
I think we've definitely got 6 players already that we know are gone at this point.
Yeah.
So then we definitely need to be going big on this trade period to refill those roles, or at least 2 of them.
Yeah. We do have to do some serious fucking action over the preseason.
Yeah,
but
because AJ is definitely going. Like that one is.
He's gone. Yeah. Charlie Dean as well.
Charlie Dean's gone. Yeah, from what I was told, I think it was Sean that mentioned it. We can't re-rookie Markov because he is a rookie right now, which means he's got to be delisted. Unfortunately.
Markov's gone. No question of a doubt.
Yeah.
The only one out of that crop that I could potentially see they randomly give another year to is McRae. That's the only one of that crop that I think they might just say, here's a year.
I think so, yeah. I think 3 months ago I was certain he was delisted. I think if it's very dour, I could see them extending him for a year because he's playing really well in the VFL, but I just don't think at this stage there's enough for him to be in the AFL side. But they could train him as a defender or something like they did with Reef.
Yeah, look, I think he's the only one that I could potentially see out of that crop that might just sort of get a year. The other one's Charlie Dean. You never know, but we all know he's not up to it. So I think he's gone. He'd be playing this week otherwise.
Yeah. One thing I've been meaning to say about tomorrow's game, all right, so they got Rankin out, So all year, their 2 key ball movers or playmakers have been Rankin and Dawson. If we can stop Dawson tomorrow, that'll take us a long way to fucking beating him. And I reckon
Bloke's a star.
I've seen Pendles the last 3-4 times we've played Carlton. Pendles has absolutely fucking schooled Patrick Cripps, like shown him how to fucking play the game. If he can do that, a similar job on Dawson, kind of like just beat him out of smarts, just out of pure positioning and smarts, playing that defensive midfield type of role, it'll take us a long way to beating him. Because without Rankin, they're already, lacking. But fuck, Dawson, if we can fucking nullify him, that'll take us a long way, I reckon.
There was a comment that came up a month. Sorry for interrupting. There was a comment that came up about an hour ago regarding Pendles and the fact that he broke the system against the D's, and if it wasn't for the fact that he went away from the system, we would have lost.
Yeah.
Did you see
the
same thing against the Crows in the event that we're in a lose situation and he disregards Fly's instructions to break the system?
Yeah. Yeah, I reckon Pendles, with his vast experience, he's got a license I reckon Fly has given him a license to make decisions, like ad hoc decisions on the ground. And he probably took advantage of that last week. He probably thought, all right, I can see what's happening here. We need a bit of composure and smarts back in defence to get get some good plays happening here where we can fucking move the ball quickly. And it fucking worked, man. And he did it. Yeah. It was amazing to see.
Yeah,
I'm just going to get. Sorry, guys. I'm just going to introduce a regular, Anthony. Anthony.
Yeah.
How are you,
guys? Good evening. Yeah, huge week, massive week.
Are you AB on the chat with Pies Footy? Is that you?
No, I'm not. No, so
sorry,
someone else.
Okay, no worries.
Because more so than AB, but the two of us. Yeah. So,
no worries, man. How you feeling for tomorrow, man?
Huge game. I'm feeling confident, like you all are. I think we have. Look at form-wise, you probably think we're gonna fall short, but I think because we all know the team more. Yeah, I think that we have a fair shot tomorrow, and I think that we could have a 2024 Port Adelaide v Geelong Cats on our hands. So last year, Port Adelaide v Geelong, it was the first qualifying final Thursday night, and I think the Cats won by like 80 points. I'm not saying it'll be 80, but I think there could be quite a big win coming tomorrow. I think it'll be a lot bigger than what we think. I reckon even like 40 points. I reckon it could be like a big smashing tomorrow. Yeah, so I'm hopeful. I really am.
I've been thinking like that as well, but I want to fucking kind of like temper my confidence, and that's why I'm saying we're only going to win by 23 points. But all week, I've been at work and having fucking these fucking visions of fucking smashing these cunts by fucking over 50, man.
It's funny. Exactly. Well, probably, but I forgot who he was. I don't know if it was like Dane Swallow or someone else, but like they were saying that McRae has a game plan up his sleeve, and I reckon first quarter tomorrow we're going to see us unleash full-on attack. I want to see us from the first bounce just go bang, bang, bang. I reckon we're going to see Houston in the middle first bounce tomorrow.
Wow.
That's what I reckon is going to happen. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. I'd love to see that.
I honestly
on the wing at least, man.
Has a game plan up his sleeve that we are going to throw at them. First bounce,
Look, I mentioned it the other day, and I think it still holds true to this point. I really think the Rankin thing might have shook them up a bit. I really think that's thrown a big curveball in their plans. He's X Factor. He's a star. He was a bit of a game changer when we played them last time with his sort of flopping and and that sort of stuff. He's a great footballer, but I think this whole thing, him not playing, I just hope my hope is that their mind's going to be off the job a bit, and their mind's going to be a little bit on the FU Collingwood sort of thing, and I really think there's an opportunity there where we can just come out and just really put it up them early.
Yep, I agree with that. Yeah.
And you've got to say the other big loss for him is Rochelle. They've lost Rochelle.
Well. He didn't play when we played them the other week, but definitely X factor player as well.
Yeah. Who did they bring in? Who's this Michelini? I've never even heard of him, mate.
He's not bad. He's a decent.
He isn't bad. Actually, quite good. Yeah. So I don't know. I'll look at the team. So who's going to play on Keane? Cox or Mychek?
I'd go Mychek.
And I reckon. I hope they give Mychek instructions to play like a defensive type of role and kind of like just don't let this bloke mark, man. But I'll tell you what, when Cox rests up forward, their back line, it's not tall, so he's gonna worry you. So if Keane has to try and fucking somehow negotiate Cox, that's a win for us, you know. That would allow Checkers to kind of have a bit of freedom there.
Yeah, I agree. And I was saying it last time we played them, like round 23, that losing then was the best thing to happen to us because the whole streak's gone. All the media's on them now, and I reckon we come in and just absolutely blow them away tomorrow. I reckon first quarter will be that over. Honestly, reckon it'll be that over by first quarter. Yeah. Hopeful.
You know who's going to be important tomorrow, man? The bloke on your profile pic, mate.
Oh.
What a fucking season he's had, huh? Fucking redemption, mate. He has not played a shit game this year. I'd say that first game, which was everyone played shit against GWS when we lost up there in 38 degrees. But since then, he has not played a shit game. And look at the way we perceive him now compared to last year. Remember last year, we were saying, who's this stud? We should have kept Ginnivan, mate. And now we're thinking, mate, all right, Ginnivan's had an okay year for Hawthorn, but, mate, there's no defensive pressure at all. This bloke, he's an absolute monster, man. And I've said it all year, come finals time, we needed Shooter, McCreary, and Bobby Hill buzzing around in the forward line. Now, we haven't got Bobby Hill, but there's a slight chance that he might come in if we get into a prelim and grand final, and I'd put him in. And just on Bobby Hill, all right? With Bobby Hill, everyone's saying, he's not doing enough training loads. He doesn't need them, man. He doesn't need to fucking fulfill the training loads that all the others are doing, mate. He was never a four-quarter player anyway. He's there for bursts, mate.
Yeah.
He'll fucking smash you in half a quarter with 2 or 3 quick goals or assists, man. And he doesn't need to fucking satisfy the training loads, man. Just fucking play him, man. Fuck.
I'm in the boat. I'm in the boat with Bobby Hill that he definitely. I would write him off for the whole season just right now. But if he was to be brought back, only as the sub.
Yeah.
Look, I think the timing. I think the timing was off with it. I think if this might have happened in round 3, let's say, and then it gets to round 10, so instead of first week of finals, you're looking at round 10, I think, you're potentially just bringing him sort of straight back in, managing him through. The issue is it's having a fall at finals time. I think it becomes 5 times the decision.
I think that
I do agree, though.
I think hypothetically, even with if you bring Bobby in, with the fact that he's not training as much, someone else is sacrificing their spot who's been going to training every day, and who would that be?
Absolutely.
That's the unfortunate thing.
Yeah, it's just the timing of it. The timing of it's been where it's probably been an issue. But Mick's right. I think it's too valuable an asset. Even if he's not 100% fit, I still think it's too valuable an asset to have not maybe had to throw at the stumps tomorrow night. But look, if we lose, I think he plays next week.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Voidoid generation.
In terms of the list, though, like who comes in? Who goes out for Hill if Hill comes in?
Maybe
well, if Rowan still has a quiet one tomorrow night, then I reckon. Yeah.
There's always a player or two to drop. There's always a player or two to drop.
Yeah.
You know.
I don't know. I just haven't looked at the team list for a good week and a bit, so I'm just interested in who would it be.
I'd like to say
Still will probably be my guess.
I'd like to say Lipinski, but he seems to be a coach's pick.
Yeah.
Just going
selected.
on. Yeah, go. Yep. Yeah, Lipinski first selected. I know. Voidoid generation
is on the bench. Is Lipinski listed on the bench?
Yes.
Yeah, his name was bench.
That could be an indication that that could be something, because if he was listed on the field, like it's not like confirmed or whatever, but normally you find if players are dropped, they're normally listed on the bench by the next week.
I would be happy if Lipinski is named the sub tomorrow. I'd be fucking happy, because that means we're starting Rowan Steele and we're indicating that we're going to run this game. We're going to because Rowan Steele, fucking hell, fast, precise, composed. What more can you ask, man? You know, and I hope he starts, man.
Also, as well, one of the things with Steele as well,
I want him.
He said it in one of those interviews and stuff, and he says something to the effect of like, I actually love the pain of just running, like that. Like for a player to like say something like that, I feel like that's like a next level thing. Like the fact that because he does his endurance running, when you're running like that much, like all you pretty much experience is pain, because like you're just running and running and running. So the fact that it's like, the fact that he embraces the pain and the fact that he loves the feeling of it, I feel like that's like an advantage to a certain point, because it's if you can not only like tolerate that but also enjoy it, I feel like that's like sort of when you know, okay, we might actually have a player on our hands. So you know, and that's the thing. If his thing is like long distance running, that could be like a Lipinski. You know, that might be like, damn, like, you know, my spot might be in jeopardy. Like, I know we have a joke around and say, oh, it's not going to happen because he's fast pet or whatever, but I mean, hey, if he keeps performing like the way that he is and still keeps getting, you know, he keeps improving each week, you know, the percentages might not be 100%, but it's getting higher and higher each week. So you just don't know at the end of the day.
All right. Who else we got here? Who do we want to see fucking tomorrow night?
How about Long?
Ned Long. I know.
Yeah.
Interesting. Week off. Had a fantastic start to the year. Tapered off. Maybe that week off, maybe, you know, he'll get a talking to. Like, you know how I said earlier that I'd love to see Pendles do a defensive job on Dawson. I reckon Fly will just go Long to do that, to be the big guy in the clinches up against Dawson. Now, Dawson will probably fucking beat him, but I'd love to see Long, you know, give him a run.
Yeah, look,
Do we think
the coach
that Long
has
could have
showed
his best game as well too, given it's finals and finals is more contested? Are we sort of not probably expecting it, but could we see a game where it's like he has one of his like best games of the year?
Yeah.
Look,
it
the
would
coach
suit
has
his
shown
style.
faith. The coach has shown faith in him all year. Hasn't wavered. I think a lot of it's been built up to sort of the finals. That's just my gut. My gut feel says that maybe he's a player that's made for finals. Now, there was a lot of talk for the last couple months that, does his form warrant his selection? But the fact that he's kept getting selected and he's kept playing midfield minutes and all this, it just shows me that they know that the faith is there. They know he'll turn it around. I think that's my best read on a guy like him. I would not be surprised if he comes out and has a blinder tomorrow night, having, a couple of months of lean sort of form. It just wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Can I just be a devil's advocate here? If, let's say, Long has a shocker, what happens then? Does he come out?
No, because you're still backing in. Because who's the next option? Mitchell.
Yeah,
I'd still back in Long over Mitchell.
yeah. I think they've made the decision that he's their guy. For better or worse, I think they made that decision. They said, I think the general consensus with the supporters for most of the year was it's Mitchell or Long, it's Mitchell or Long, it's Mitchell or Long. Now, they both played together for a little bit. Mitchell was straight back out. Long stayed in despite having a few lean weeks. That tells me that they've already made the decision that he's the guy. So, you just got to remember, he's still quite young. He's still developing. He's been asked to do a lot for his sort of age. And we just got to sort of have to probably cop the shocker here or there.
Yeah.
I think
I also sort of find it interesting too when at the start of the year when he had that good batch of form, going into this season, one of his biggest knocks was his kicking and his ability to sort of hit targets with efficiency, right? But when he was in form, we kept putting the ball in his hands. So I think that also goes a long way too, because that's he doesn't get the. I'm sure he gets the ball himself at times, but a lot of times he's getting the ball. It's because he's getting a handball receive off a teammate. Yeah, so.
Yeah.
I think in terms of his own teammates, even his own teammates are backing him in, being like, "Hey, mate, kick the ball." So I think that also shows you, regardless if it's right or wrong, it tells you that even his teammates are like, "Hey, we trust you to use the ball now." So yeah, hit the target. Because there was at one point where he actually became a pretty good kick pretty good kick just in general, like a decent field kick. Probably not amazing or anything, but he was competent. But then also, with his lack of form recently, it's sort of gone down a bit. But there's really no I don't know, for lack of a better word, there's really no excuse to why he can't get back to that form and actually hit his targets again. Because if he can do it already on an AFL stage, why can't he do it against Adelaide tomorrow night?
Yeah.
Well, look, the form he's shown, we're not, we can't just give up on him at this point. He wouldn't have kept playing if they didn't think he was capable of turning it around. That's just my view. And I really think it's made for him to sort of, again, he doesn't need to be as good as he was at the start of the year. I think no one saw that coming. Doesn't even need to be that sort of player. He just needs to, tidy up a few areas here and there. Doesn't need to have mid-20s. Just needs to have his high teens, early 20s, and just be an absolute role player.
Yeah.
And just
one player that had a fucking fantastic game against Melbourne, I would argue, probably one of the best games for the club is Bo. Bo got 18 posies last against Melbourne. Yeah, that's a fucking, for him, that's a lot. Yeah.
And he was off the third quarter too.
Yeah. And he was injured. And even when he came back on after the injury, he was a lot better, And he was so busy, so fast. such a disruptor. Yeah.
He won us the game, I think. A few of his touches on the half-forward flank, and he just burnt his opponent. I'm not sure who it was, but he got separation instantly. 5 or 6 strides, he was already in, 3 or 4 meters of space.
Yeah.
And I just thought, you know what, the gentleman that was on before, I've forgotten his name, he was talking about our 23 style of play, the more chaos, the more run and gun. He typified that against Melbourne. He was just burning him off.
Yeah. That gentleman you were talking about was Dazza, and he's back. Daz.
Oh, you there?
Good, mate. You cut out on us earlier, mate.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I think, no, my missus, I think, is playing tricks on me. She doesn't like me talking footy all hours of the night. But no, I'm sitting here listening, and I'll continue to listen. I'll chip in when I get an opportunity. But yeah, I agree with what you've been saying about Nettie Long. It was a very swift sort of like start for him, which surprised me. I think everyone was quite surprised by this young lad's beginning. And there was always going to be a bit of a dip, I think. It's just unfortunate that, that we're seeing it. I think a potentially really talented footballer. But, I think in time, we'll probably see his best year next year, another full pre-season, working with Pendles and Nick and Jack Crisp and Bo and all these sorts of guys that are really, they know how to get the footy. And but I think he's one thing that I reckon they'll work on his kicking skills and his disposal, obviously, because if he can just tidy that up, I reckon he could be, in our best 3 midfielders come the end of next year. So, he's young. I think he's copped a fair bit of flack, probably more so because we lost some games, and I think he was always the whipping boy, a bit of a whipping boy, and because he was sort of one of the last ones into the team. So I just think we need to be a bit patient with him. I'm not sure what his best position is. I still think we're still trying to work that out. I reckon Fly's trying to work that out. But in time, I reckon we'll know this time next year where his best position is. He is a confidence player. I reckon we got some really talented young people. Next year, I'm looking forward to what Steele can do, and hopefully we'll get a good pre-season out of Noah Howes as well. Because I can tell you what, if anyone can create some excitement in our forward line with that guy. I watched him early when he broke into the VFL after his first game, which was absolutely shocking, which is not unexpected when he got drafted mid-season. But game 3, game 4, I loved the way that he approached the ball, the way that he presented himself and took some really good pack marks. And he's got a good kicking foot. He's pretty accurate, which is something that we definitely need up in the forward line. So, we need to be patient with him. But I reckon he's got a bit about him, I reckon. And same with Steele as well. I'm glad that he's kept his spot. But, I think we need to be patient with Nettie. I think he's he'll come along. He'll get there. Another pre-season and needs to sit, and I'm sure he'll listen to the likes of Pendles and Nick and some of the other guys to try and correct some of the deficiencies that he has. I'm sure he'll be a much better player next year. As a finals footballer, let's hope he is. Would be great to say that he's in our best players tomorrow night, and that would be great for his confidence as well, because I reckon he's probably copped a bit of a battering in recent weeks with the confidence, but our losses haven't helped, obviously. He's probably taking it pretty personally, I imagine, but I'm glad that they've stuck with him. because the worst thing you can do to a young fellow is drop him. In a situation like this, and his confidence just goes completely. So I think it's a great thing that they've stuck with him for this. And as far as if he has another shocker tomorrow night, I would imagine that he's still staying the team. Because again, like you've said before, I mean, is there anyone else, that's going to grab that opportunity off of him at the moment? There isn't anyone really that stands out that's presenting themselves as another option, really. And like I said earlier before, my missus, I think, cut my phone, but she, I was trying to explain that if we just get some of those other older guys to lift, as we quite often say, in this game tomorrow night, I reckon we'll be starting to say, well, that's all we needed. We just needed some of those other guys to perform better, to get us over the line in some of these other games. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. I think I'll have a break again. I'll go on mute and I'll listen to you guys. And
no worries.
I can't shut. You got to shut me up sometimes, fellas. My wife hates me talking about footy, but yeah, if you reckon I go on too much, just tell me to shut up.
No worries, mate. Mate, I'm notorious for going on these streams for like over 4 hours, mate. We can talk for fucking all morning, mate. No problem at all.
Yeah. And how good is it going to be? How good is it going to be if we talk about a win tomorrow night? So, I mean, you're going to be you'll have so many people ready to jump on and chat, and it's going to be great listening to those people. Hopefully, it'll happen, and it'll be a memorable night. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Let's hope it happens.
No worries. Thanks, Daz.
Sorry, boys. Okay.
No worries, mate.
I wouldn't be surprised if I have if I'm saying Collingwood tactics in my sleep. I'll be like, move Darcy Moore down forward, and then as I'm like snoring.
I'll tell you what. I've just seen a stat. All right, Mark King. All right, he's only lost 4 of the 60 one-on-one contests he's had this year. That's unbelievable, and that's why I reckon Fly's bringing Cox in, and he's not going to outmark Cox like a one-on-one. So that nullifies that important stat. And against North, all right, someone said in the chat earlier they put a purely defensive forward on him. Yeah, someone that wasn't even looking for the ball; they were just playing. But I don't think we're. Like I said, I mentioned earlier, maybe Myercheck could do that, but you don't want to waste Myercheck on only worrying about his opponent in a defensive manner while he's playing as a forward, But with Coxie, with Coxie, I don't think Keane has ever played on someone that tall, I hope it works out.
Who was the Sydney player he played on? Amadi? How tall's Amadi? Because Amadi Key had 9 on him or something at one point. Last year. Was it last year?
That was. I can't remember. I remember Amadi kicking 9.
Something like that.
Was it on Keane? Fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, I think it's safe to assume that Brody Myercheck's not going to have that type of game again.
No.
I mean, look, Keane was outstanding. Good on the kid. That stat is an amazing stat. That's probably why we wanted to get him back. But I think it's very safe to assume that Myercheck's going to give more of a show of himself than what it was the other week. Look, with Cox there too, that does stretch that back line a little bit as well.
Also, just on the Joe Amadi, he's 125 centimeters, so he's not that tall. Like in terms of the Cox height, he's not that tall.
I think he just had a day out because he's never played like that in his whole career. I remember that game and thinking, mate, how the fuck did he kick 9 No one kicks 90.
With Amani, as much as he is like not really that good, but he does have that body where he's very physical, but he's also very athletic.
Yeah.
He's kind of like a Jesse White in a sense, like like he's got,
don't
sort of
mention
got a
that
lot of
bloke's
potential.
name.
Jesse White.
He's just got a
I
lot
never
of
want to hear
potential,
that
but he
name
just never
again.
put it out there.
Hey, gents, just excuse me for 1 minute. I'm gonna go make myself a coffee. All right, I'll be back in 1 minute.
Without Captain Mick, we're a shambles already.
Yeah, someone should just start
Well,
talking
there
about
was a stat because I'm watching the Adelaide Collingwood game right now, actually, just for background. And the stat ended up saying for players that have kicked 50 goals in a season since 2000, apparently we've had 6. So we had Chris Tarrant, Anthony Rocker, Paul Medhurst, Travis Cloak, John Anthony, and then Elliott for this year.
Yeah.
So
I completely forgot that. Yeah. I completely forgot that
the
Jack
Travis
Nickley
Cloak one was
was
2013.
Yeah.
So it's been 12 years since we've had a player kick 50 goals in the season.
I'm still a bit shocked that Jamie was in forward pocket for the All-Australian team.
I'm kind of not, just because I just don't think he's been consistent enough.
Ridiculous.
No, that's where I disagree, because I think there was it was one of the media personalities. I think it was Midweek Rob, where they said that there seems to be this massive bias towards the last 2 months rather than the first 6 months or first 4 months.
Yeah.
Whereas someone like Zach Bailey didn't have he didn't start really well.
No,
but he's finished really
not at all.
Yeah. There's a recency bias with the All-Australian team. But to be completely fair, look, I think if I was circling a team, I think Elliott's in there. However, I can sort of understand why he was left out in the end.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wouldn't say that Elliott's like one of those guys where it's like you had to have him in. Oh, he's definitely in the conversation, right? But he's not like a lock for an All-Australian, if that makes any sense.
No.
How about Nick on the bench, man? What the fuck was that?
Where I disagree, because I think that with the All-Australian team this year, the way that I saw it, you could have done this team at the start of the year.
Yeah.
I think maybe 4 or 5 of those positions were interchangeable, because in my opinion, and as much as this sucks for us to admit, Worrell deserved a spot.
Yeah.
He's the number 1 defender according to all stats, and he was left out. Explain that.
Yeah.
Look, I think every year there's those 3 or 4 players that, Elliott just fits in that mold this year that, no one would have raised an eyebrow if he was in, and sort of maybe a few eyebrows are raised that he's left out, but you sort of get it. Nick on the bench, same sort of thing. He's still in the team, it is the bench, whatever, but he's still in the team. So, but yeah, I don't think any coach, if they were picking their team out of the whole AFL system, I don't think anyone's starting Nick on the bench in any circumstance.
I don't think anyone's
but I think
starting
as well, I think that comes down to the name of it, though. Ed Richards is one where, he probably doesn't have the name, but he's had an amazing year this year. He's probably, and he was even one at the start of the year that I was saying that, because he was a free agent, obviously he's signed now, but he was one at the start of the year where I'm like, damn, we need to get this dude, because this guy, for a team that lacks a bit of pace and we probably need to search for a bit of poise for when Pendlebury goes. Ed Richards would have been a perfect get if we're able to get him, and because he's a bit underrated, you could probably even get a guy like that for like cheaper than what you probably think. But now he's had an All-Australian year. Obviously, like that's not going to be the case now. But yeah, I mean, yeah, Ed Richards has been a really good player for a fair while now, and I'm kind of glad he got the accolades of All-Australian this year. Even though I'm not really one for like, it's not that I don't like the All-Australian thing as an idea, but like, I don't know. I think it's I don't know. There can be people out there that just put too much time into it and too much time and attention into it. Where it is just sort of thing of like, yeah, let's just celebrate the fact that these players played well rather than like the Pacifics. It's like if it's like if we do let's do a top 10 players of all time. You know, it's like there's no definitive list. But,
I mean,
you know,
I think
I'm sure there's a popular list, but like it really comes down to popular opinion at the end of the day.
Yeah, but I think that's where I think with the All-Australian, like just for argument's sake, would be a worthwhile metric if you put everyone in their position, in their correct position, rather than getting 18 midfielders, for example. Like, I mean, I think at the end of the day, it is somewhat ceremonial if you can have someone like Jeremy Cameron, who's never been a captain in his life, be named captain. I mean, he's never been in leadership.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know how they picked that. And then even like the young player, that dude from Geelong, Sean Manor, like the fact he's 28 years old and he won the youngest player award. Like, that's pretty funny. Yeah. Which apparently the rule is like because apparently the rules with that award, you can actually be any age, but you have to win it inside your first 2 seasons. So it's not even a young players award; it's just a young career award, pretty much.
Yeah.
I think that's what sort of rubs me the wrong way with the All-Australian. Like, you can make your decisions, and like if someone like Bucks or Glenn Jakovic or whoever it is on the selection team can always back in their decisions. But I think what rubbed me the wrong way was listening to Kane Corn sort of not want to defend his decisions when Kingy was asking. And it's like, okay, yeah, this is why it rubs me badly, because it's like when like Kingy was pushing for why Worrell wasn't selected, and Kane's like, well, who would you have selected or who would you have removed from the team? And he's like, well, Battle. That's quite an easy question. It's not that they're not bad players. It's that one was better than the other. Yeah. Like, I think that's what sort of just irritates me, where, if they would have just come and just defended their decisions, it's like, yeah, I completely get it. But when you don't, it's like, yeah.
You reckon Nick wins the Brownlow?
No.
Nah.
Bailey Smith,
No.
Bailey Smith. He's been the best every game almost.
Not Anderson.
Yeah. Is it okay to say that? Because I guess it comes down to just individual awards. I just have no interest in that. I'm not obviously upset if they win it, because of course it's like, yeah, well done, congrats. But I'm more focused on winning flags. So like, I want to. That's basically my focus. Which
that's all that matters, mate.
Like, I know it's like very cheesy and it's very like, yeah, no shit, but like, yeah, it's just even with the All-Australian stuff, it's like, I mean, even if you just to quickly talk about NBA for a bit, and there's always a conversation of who's better, LeBron or Jordan. It's like, how about we just celebrate them both and appreciate that both of them played? If you know what I mean, like that's sort of like where I sort of go down the path with these things, because I just like when people are trying to be too specific with these things, I just sort of it's not that I switch off, but it's just like it just gets like too much, if that makes any sense. Like there's like too much specific effort in like one place, and it's like, well, it's not definitive. Like, it's an opinion at the end of the day, and if someone, just to quickly go on the basketball analogy, if someone likes Jordan over LeBron or LeBron over Jordan, it's like the main part is that you love like sports, or you, in that case, you love NBA. You know what I mean? Like, if you prefer one over the other, it's fantastic. But to definitively say one's better than the other, it's like, why do we need that? You know what I mean? Like,
look, I think to get back to the Brownlow with Nick, the reason I want him to actually win one is because I think it might actually be affecting the way he plays sometimes. I think if he does just win it this year, let's say, I think then that accolade's been ticked off, and it might actually, free him up a little bit more in the future. Because I have seen
less over it.
Yeah, I really think that he wants it. We can sit here and say, oh, we don't really care, or we do care, but I think him personally, I think he really wants a Brownlow.
Oh,
now,
of course, yeah.
know,
Dagos definitely wants one. There's no doubt in that. I'm just saying,
yeah,
for me,
and
in my personal opinion, I don't
absolutely,
really. Yeah,
yeah.
if he gets one,
I
I'm
have the
like,
same
awesome,
view.
congrats, well done, Nick. But
Yeah,
if he
I
doesn't win
think
it,
he
I'm
becomes
like,
a better player. That's the thing. I think if he wins it, I think he becomes a better player because that's just another thing that's ticked off, and then he doesn't have to carry that, carry that expectation anymore. Carry that, I want to win one. I got to win one, sort of thing. Because honest, my hand on heart, I've been to every sort of home game this year. There's been times where he stat pads. Now, again, sensational player. But I've seen certain times where I think he's thinking about the Brownlow while playing.
Yeah, of course. I mean, if you're in that position, like it's understandable. Does it make it right? Like, I mean, not really, but but you can understand why you would. I mean, it makes complete sense because, even back in his draft year, I remember he really wanted to go for the first pick. And then I remember specifically, like the Giants even came out and said specifically, we're not going to draft you because we just don't value at our pick. And I can't remember specifically what happened around it, but I remember something to the effect of like Nick being really emotional about that because not only did he want to go pick one because he wanted to be the best player of the draft, but the fact that it was like he wasn't even going in like the top 3 picks, and the Giants definitively ruled him out of like, we're not picking you up. Like I remember he got he definitely got into his feelings about that, and it's like, I mean, it's good because it's like, that's great, the fact that he wants to be the best version of himself. But sometimes with that as well too, sometimes that can, as much as it can be a gift because you're trying to get the best out of yourself, it can also be a curse because it's like it to a point it can also become a bit of a, you sort of become like an addict over it in a sense where it's like, I need this Brownlow, I need this #1 pick, I need all these things. So yeah, as you said, when you get it, it's a bit of like a, if you get the monkey off the back, it can sort of be like, okay, I've ticked the box. I don't need to be this like Brownlow medalist because I am a Brownlow medalist. So if it is that thing of like once he gets one, but then again, for all we know, Dacos could just be, okay, I've got one, but now I want 2, and there's like, so obviously if he ever wins one Brownlow, we'll obviously find out how he goes and stuff. But I think that's just Nick in general. I just think he's just ultra competitive, and that's just who he is, sort of thing. So I think it's also on the club to make sure we look after him in that sense, because as much as he can be his own hero, he can also be his own villain at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, he'll probably come short. I reckon he had to get like 2 from Melbourne. I reckon he'll get probably 0 against Melbourne, and that might cost him. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the ironic thing was that we all saw that I at least saw that Melbourne game as the Nick 3 Brownlow vote game, because and I think that's the pressure that sort of may have got to him that specific match. Because you look at someone like Anderson, who also had a blinder against the Bombers. I think that put him over the line.
Yeah.
But I think for someone like Anderson, his biggest opponent might actually be his teammate Rao.
Yeah.
Look, I don't think there's going to be any runaway leaders in this Brownlow anyway. I think it'll be one of those 5 or 6 players down to the last round are all sort of, in a bunch. Every year it's the same thing. Like last year it was, Nick should win it, and Cripps does what Cripps like. It is just unbelievable to know that a player scores 45 votes or whatever it was. You just can't predict these things. For all we know, Nick could randomly get 40 votes, and it's a blowout. Like it's ridiculous sometimes how it actually pans out. So
yeah, and then there's like weird things as well too, where like what was it in 2010 when Judd won his Brownlow and Swan won it in 2011, and the popular opinion over that is that each of their Brownlows should have been flipped over, where Swan should have won it in 2010 and Judd should have won it in 11.
But I think that's where it's always
because Swan missed out in 2010, there's like a consensus that like the umpires they were looking to give Swan more votes just because that's probably what the opinion was at the time, that he should have had a Brownlow and he probably will get one eventually. So whether there's that same sort of thing for Nick, we'll see. But
yeah,
I guess time will
the
tell.
umpires are human as well. That's the thing a lot of people forget. Like, they're just obviously they're up close and personal with the players, and every game, every week. But different umpires are voting on different games, and it's not the same umpires every week. So you just don't know. There could be certain umpires that every time Carlton plays, he just gives Cripps a 3, or another umpire every time he umpires a Collingwood game, they give Nick the 3. Like, there's just no real rhyme or reason with it a lot of the time.
And you probably get votes off your name,
That's why I think the system was somewhat.
You're probably more likely to get a vote just because you are that, not like marquee player, but it's like when you think of Collingwood, you think of Nick Dacos, right? So if you're an umpire, I'm sure they don't just look at it and go, damn, I don't know who to give votes here. Oh, I'll just do Nick Dacos and everything will be sweet.
No,
I don't think that happens, but it's like
that's where I disagree. I think Adrian's completely correct. I've seen Nick's stat pad as well, because if in the event that Collingwood wins, the umpires look at the scoreboard at the very end, and they see the disposal. They see Nick has had 43. It's like, okay, he must have been the best player. He gets the 3.
Yeah.
There's also a recency bias with voting as well. If you could have a blinder of a first quarter, win your team the game, and then sort of be quiet throughout, and you might miss out on any votes whatsoever. But the bloke that got 12 touches in the last, kicked a goal or 2, comes out and gets 3, and you think, hang on, when the game was on the line, player X actually sort of was, and that's why I think Nick is going to get votes regardless every year, probably. He's just been unlucky because all his 3 sort of years that he's been touted to maybe be up there, there's just been a player out of the blue just skyrocket. Obviously the year where he got injured, we could have comfortably said that's probably was his opportunity right there. But last year's just ridiculous. So
I mean, last year I think showed that the system is so completely broken that you can have 2 runaway players poll that much amount of votes. Like, I think, like, if you break it down, like Cripps received 15 sets of 3 votes to win the Brownlow.
Yeah, it was ridiculous, man.
There's 23 matches in a year.
That was ridiculous.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
If someone that didn't know much about AFL was just looking at the records and they saw the Brownlow votes, they would think Cripps is like the greatest player ever,
Yeah.
And he's not. He's just an extractor,
And to add to Sean's point, with the fact that the Brownlow sometimes seems to reward the right players in the wrong years. Like, I mean, I live here. I live in Brisbane, so I've got all of this Lockie Neal sort of media. He was doing a lot of media last year around the Brownlow saying, I played a really good year. I played better than 23. And a lot of the media here were like, okay, he actually could win. He actually could win the 3rd Brownlow. He wasn't even close.
Yeah.
And he was the one that in 23 said, I actually didn't play that good.
Yeah.
And then that's the thing where in 22, where I think a lot of people may have thought, okay, well, he actually deserved it, but since Paddy Cripps got off because of the lawyer and the last minute thing, so he wasn't suspended and all that, so they've overcompensated for Lockie the following year. So, but
1 second, guys. Guys, I would like to introduce into the forum one of Fly's greatest critics and one of Darcy Moore's biggest fans. I'm saying that I'm being sarcastic there. I bring to the stage Matthew from Bangkok. How are you, buddy?
G'day, Mick. Evening, lads, or early morning, where you guys are. I like
tomorrow, mate.
I'm a bit like you. I'm actually confident. I reckon this has got a pie's been written all. I don't want to Moses, but this has got a backs to the wall. Go to Adelaide. It's just 2002, that qualifying final against Port Adelaide when no one gave us a chance. All the media was just saying, "Why are we even there? We're going to go out in straight sex." Did I think that was a bit of? Did I say straight sex?
It's after midnight.
It was like sex.
It's after midnight.
Buckley was out with a hamstring. The Benny Johnson rundown of Peter Burgoyne in the goal square. What a night that was.
Licuria, 40 posies.
Alan Didak, massive goals.
Yeah.
Licuria had 45 touches. It was just what a night. What a night. And it's interesting what you say about what you were saying about Pendles earlier, about an hour ago. I was cooking dinner, and someone said that Pendles took it on himself to make some decisions and make some moves and do something. And I thought, well, thank God someone is. So because Fly's too busy cheerleading. Anyway.
As I said, you're one of Fly's staunchest critics, mate.
Man,
we give Fly a lot of slack to the flag.
I do. But you know, he just needs to get out of the way sometimes. Come on.
Yeah. Can I just ask a question just to Matt, because it's something that I completely agree with. Who do you think would be the best assistant coach that Collingwood can hire next year, so that they could be the one that makes the decisions during game rather than Fly?
I can already think of one already.
That's a good question. I would say Chris Scott.
I'm sure he'd be interested in taking an assistant role.
You know who the Pies should go with? This is you know who I think the Pies should go after, and this is just a bit biased because of my upbringing and I had his number on my back. But you know who would be good sitting on the bench at Collingwood? It would be Choco Williams.
Yeah,
that was my answer.
He's been to every club except us, so may as well. He seems to have been an assistant coach at every club.
Knowing Choco, he holds grudges, and he's probably because Lethal. I don't know the inside story, but I think he feels that Lethal effed him over.
Yeah.
I mean, I reckon we win at least one more flag. I reckon we win it if Choco's at Collingwood in '88, we win a flag.
Yeah.
That's how much influence he had at the club, and what a great captain he was.
He was just before my time, Matt. Like, I can barely remember him as a player. What was he? Was he a mid? A half forward?
He was like a De Goey, who was like a midfielder, but he could go and play full forward and kick 5 goals.
Wow.
Just amazing overhead. Like, he's only about 6'1", amazing over his head. So courageous. You know, could kick a really good kick straight, you know, for a set shot, or could just snap it around the corner, and just players got on his back. Like, guys, do yourself a favor if you ever get a chance. Watch the 1984 qualifying final. Back then, the qualifying final was a knockout, and it was to get you into a prelim. It's one of the best finals memories ever. We beat Carlton, and unfortunately, we had a lot of injuries that day. We lost Cloak, we lost Mark Williams, we got pumped by the Bombers the next week, which was very unmemorable final. But Dakes was big that day. I think Dacos kicked. I think he might have kicked 7 goals.
Yeah.
But going back to my point, I'm not suggesting he's the best tactical guy out there, but he's just a people person. To have him on the bench, I think he really helped Melbourne get a flag. And every club he's been at, the players just rave about him. He's a premiership. Yeah. He's a premiership coach as well. So he's a man motivator.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
tactically, I'm not sure.
Day one of preseason. What's that?
What's that?
I was just saying that. I went to day one of preseason last year, expecting to see Collingwood train, but they trained in the afternoon. But when I was there, there was actually the training of the D's. So with Melbourne, they were training there, and as I was just there because I was going to do content and everything, I'm like, oh well, if Collingwood are just going to train later, I'll just stick around. I'll watch Melbourne train, even if I see a different club. Who knows? Maybe I might see something different. Might get some ideas, whatever, things like that. And one of the things I noticed straight away, because I think it was Tholstrup. What was it? Tholstrup, Windsor, and it was a father-son kid. I'm forgetting the name of. Anyway, so those were basically the 3 kids that they drafted that year, right? And so obviously as I'm watching training and stuff, and basically obviously Mark Williams was there. It was just the way that I was just watching training, and even just watching Mark Williams go about it, and just the way he would just coach. Yes, I was watching from afar, but it was just the way he was so hands on. He was very physical, hugging the kids, just very he would just seem to be a really I feel like you would have a really good combination of being your dad, your best friend, and also your brother at the same time. I feel like that's probably what sort of gets him the accolades that he gets, I guess. And I think on top of it too, I think he's probably just with all the things that's said about him and in terms of how much of a good person he is. I think he'd be an absolute no-brainer and stuff. If there is a world where we could get him over to Collingwood, I think we should go at it in a heartbeat because, as you were saying, anything that he's been a part of, there's been success, and same with Fly. As much as we can have our criticisms with Fly and stuff, he sort of had the same thing. So if you put people that can if you put people that have had success, in the past and stuff, obviously they've had that success for a reason. So if you can put them in a position to make moves and stuff, then it won't take long before you start having success.
Yeah, well, I was watching the press conference that is it Brad Green, the president of Melbourne?
Yeah,
and that was such a really piss poor press conference. I'm not a fan of Simon Goodwin at all. Right, I think he's part of the problem with that culture that they had, just really arrogant, and whatever. But the way that Brad Green was talking up their list and all that, while you're there having a press conference and you're telling your coach he's going to go, just be pleasant and say thanks for what you've done. You're a premiership captain. You'll always be a legend of the Melbourne Footy Club. But he's giving him backhanders. And then when I heard, I don't know whether Mark Williams quit or he was given the door, but I'm thinking he's the type of bloke who would watch that and go, yeah, it's about time I left here. That's poor.
Yeah,
that's poor.
Yeah, he got the sack from all reports.
Okay.
Yeah, the whole club's a shambles. The whole club's, and it's funny. Like we always say, how you have to see how bad it can get to realize how good it can be. Like it's like even Collingwood. Like I was on training on Tuesday, before I went to the city in the morning, like 9 a.m. and I walked in. It was so beautiful. It's like it was all open for you. You can walk around the whole oval, look at the players. You can go in the store, look at the exhibitions. Like Carlton, you can't even enter the stadium and look at them train. Like Carlton's all like closed off.
Yeah.
So we always like criticize them. We always hate the club. Looking at how it can be, this club has done so much for the fans. I think because it was so good there in the morning. Like it was all open. It was beautiful. So I think So if we get Mark Williams in, I think he'll perform a lot better with us as well in a good environment. Yeah.
Do you know the other person and people I know who work in the AFL in far as like a recruiting sort of and scouting sort of capacity? He's this one particular fella. He's a Richmond supporter, Collingwood hater, of course, but he respects Collingwood. And the last time we caught up, when he came out to Thailand, and we caught up, watched the footy, and he just said, "Why is Mick McGuan not working at the Collingwood Football Club?" So there is rarely that you'll find anyone with the footy smarts that Mick McGuan has. You just have to. You can listen to Mick McGuan talk for 10 minutes about footy, or even read one of his articles. He's a footy genius. That's another bloke I would love to have at the club. And he's all over the young players as well. That didn't come out well. I mean, he knows about the talent with the young people coming through better than anyone.
Yeah.
So it'd be great to have recruitment, or developing the young players. Again, you speak to anyone who plays footy at Keilor or wherever, and they just love Mick McGuan. He can make players become better, get their full potential.
Yeah,
he's my all-time favourite.
He actually signed a new deal this year. I want to say he signed it for 3 years.
Yeah.
With Mick, he signed a 3-year deal at Keilor.
Yeah,
he's their senior coach for another 3 years.
Yeah.
He's been ridiculously successful there, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He's my favourite player of all time.
Hey, you know who would be a really good combination? It's never gonna happen. It's never gonna happen. But because we're just talking about Melbourne, do you guys think that Nathan Buckley will be so much better the next time around, wherever he goes?
No, it never happens.
I personally, I actually think I do.
No, I don't know. I reckon he will be.
Yeah, I
reckon he'll be better. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because when he came in, he didn't have the people skills, and he developed the people skills over time.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't think he's
because
still
what
perfect,
happened was
you just put that out there, but he's definitely better than what he was.
Yeah,
exactly.
And then you have guys like Petrarca still there. I think Fritsch is also a mad Collingwood, or he was a Collingwood supporter as a kid. There's like a few Melbourne players that have like Collingwood connections through like supporting the club as a kid. So, and I'm pretty sure, I could be wrong on this, but I'm pretty confident to say this. Petrarca actually picked number 5 because of Buckley. That's actually why he got the number 5 jumper.
Yeah,
Track was mad, Collingwood. His whole family is.
Just
fly.
To
go on, Paul. Go.
Just to what Sean was saying, I think that there's a couple of Melbourne players who haven't made it public but have already expressed interest to certain clubs that they're leaving, and I think Fritsch is one of them.
Fritsch is one of them, actually, just to put that out there.
From what I've heard, Fritsch is tied to Carlton.
Yeah.
So that's why I think. With what Boydwood was saying, Bucks would be a fool to take this Melbourne job, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Right there.
And with
the culture thing there.
Go on, Luke.
Yeah.
Go on, Matt.
I think you got people like Brad Green as the president, and all of their major roles are not filled. So Bucks, I wish Bucks all the best, but he should sit back and look at what that club's going to do, see who's going to be on the list, and he's holding all the cards.
Yeah.
And I actually think because he did get better. He was given it on a platter after he took over from Mick, and then his personality and his lack of coaching ability pulled them down through 14, 15, 16, 17. We all remember that was a disaster. And instead of getting rid of him, they said, "This is what we want you to do, Bucks. We're going to keep you on, but it's come feedback from everyone, including the players, that you are a micromanager. You want everyone to be perfect like you were as a player, and that's fine as a captain. But as a coach in this modern day and era, you need to delegate. You need to realize that people are human beings. They're not all robots. They're not all Scott Pendleburys. You've got people like Dane Swan and Dale Thomas. They're different units. And it's what we're going to do is we're going to build really good assistants around you. We're going to give you all of the support, and this is how it's going to work. And that's how we're going to do it. If you don't like it, you can piss off." So that's what happened. And they went from bottom 4 to within, a minute from winning a grand final.
And a lot of people forget that about Bucks. He was one umpiring decision away from winning a flag with a fucking team that was fucking injury fucking ravaged too.
Yeah. More Elliott all gone,
Bucks had his time at Collingwood. And, I wish him all the best, whatever he chooses to do at the end of the day. I feel as though Melbourne probably isn't the right job, but then there's also the argument, how long can you be out of the game before you're gone completely? So, that's a factor as well.
Yeah, it's a good point.
I think for Bucks, I think this
What about
job would have been perfect for him.
What about Tasmania?
Yeah, I think that's perfect for him.
Yeah.
They're 10 years away from winning a flag. And if Bucks is going to coach again, he wants a flag within the next 5 years.
Well, it's not going to happen with Melbourne.
No. Well, if they were to get the right off the field people in there and turn their culture around very quickly, maybe. They're not like Carlton. Carlton is cursed. And if Carlton supporters are watching this, they will agree. I'm not talking about the supporters or the players, but off the field, they are cursed. Like, you think Collingwood and Darcy Moore is woke? Carlton are 10 levels above Collingwood as the amount of influence that. I'm not exaggerating. Like
Matt, you're completely correct. I mean, I think it was Blue or Broad that basically mentioned that Carlton see all these podcasts as competitors rather than ambassadors.
Yeah,
like that's a toxic club.
They've got too many coterie groups that are vying for control.
Yeah,
and like
power. Rock and Mars would agree with that they don't use them for the good. They see them as actual enemies.
Wasn't there
the biggest
well
issue
too,
with Carlton? I was just going to say that the biggest issue with Carlton is they still run their club like it's the 1980s. It's as simple as that. They run a club that big business power brokers, big egos, all this, and what's happened is they've just separated themselves from their own supporters over the journey. So you've got these massive power brokers that run everything. Don't believe what they tell you when they say, "Oh, we're changing with it." It's been the same issue. There's 5, 10, 15 families that are involved deeply with Carlton, and they control everything.
Yeah.
I mean, it was during one of the Collingwood matches this year. I think it was the very, very first one. And it was the Blues fans who were so pissed off with the fact that the Collingwood social media team was constantly promoting the match. Look at what Schultz is doing. Look at what Dacos is doing. And they're pumping them up. Carlton's social media that day, they announced a sponsorship.
Yeah.
Like that's how disconnected they were completely from the fans.
You need to look at the foundations of the clubs. if you take
Exactly.
our two clubs, okay, the foundations of our club is a Catholic working class, very
Yeah.
community oriented club. The Carlton Football Club was a Protestant, very rich families, you know, big influence, big political influence. And why are we surprised that 120 years later, nothing's changed?
Yeah.
Interesting stuff, man.
Do you know?
That's interesting
You know
stuff.
what's really interesting is someone was it yourself who was talking about Daz was coming on. Daz was coming on. He was talking about watching social media on the TV and like, geez, everyone hates Collingwood and I don't think they've been barrack for the Crows, but geez, the hatred is out there. It's like, okay, you've been barracking for Collingwood for the last week, then, have you? Or is
Yeah.
You know who's backed us for tomorrow?
Who's that?
You know who backed us for tomorrow? Fucking Timmy Watson and fucking Lloydo. Timmy Watson and Lloydo have backed us.
And
Rui, half of the jumper. Half of the jumper punch boys were picking Collingwood as well, but they're like going, I don't believe I'm going to say this, but the Pies, I think they're going to win.
Mate,
they're going to win.
I was on there.
It's
I was on there before I started this stream, and Rocco was fucking scathing, mate. He reckons we're going to lose by about fucking 80 points, mate.
Yeah, he's saying we're going to lose straight sets.
I think Collingwood are they're not going to win, mate. They're not going to win. No, they're going to go over to Adelaide. And,
Oh my God.
Mate, I could sense the fear behind his words, mate.
Absolutely, Nick. That's 100% what it was.
Rocco, mate.
Do you guys
that's actually kind of
Rocco.
That's so good.
All
right.
Hey, I like that. To the jumper punch boys, I do. I tune in and the good value. I really enjoy it. Hey Carlton, but I love those boys. They're good value.
No, absolutely.
And they're very anti woke, which is hits home for me.
That's what I said to Rocco, mate. Carlton doesn't deserve you guys as supporters, mate.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Come over.
You know what I've always said about those blokes? They think like Collingwood supporters, and they don't. Carlton doesn't have many of that sort.
Yeah. Like when we're scathing about our performances, we're in the top 4, and we're scathing about our performances. They're freaking out.
Yeah.
They wish they were in our fucking position. You know?
Yeah, we're in the top 4 and going for 4 hours live streams, 4 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah.
We are a whole different breed.
But what you'll notice when you're listening to them and when they're taking the piss out of what's going on at Carlton, they constantly reference back to Collingwood.
Yeah.
They'll say, like, you'd never see that at Collingwood. Like, they got this guy like Rowan Steen. Where'd he come from? Come first game, gets 20 touches and a goal. Where can we find that guy?
And I love how they bring up 2023 as their watershed year. You know?
Oh, yeah. The prelim. Yeah. Now, I have to say, I want to know who they get on because Paul left. And I think out of all of them, Paul was that calm, articulate guy.
Yeah.
Because like Miles and Rocco are like hot heads. I can't really. And so I wonder who's going to get on. It's quite a different dynamic. Yeah.
Why did Paul leave?
Paul works for SCN. And he's really moving up the ranks there quite quickly. I wouldn't be surprised if he's on the radio in the next year or two.
I hope so. Yeah,
He does the horse racing show on Sunday. I think. And
he's a talent.
Yeah, Paul. Are they brothers? Paul, Seba, and Mars? Are they all brothers or
cousins?
Related
I
or
think.
Yeah,
they're all cousins. I think. Yeah.
They're good guys. Look, I've spoken to them heaps of times, and they have a crack, they have a laugh, but they're good guys.
Yeah.
I find it's like I watch it like, you know how you tune into a reality TV show
Yeah.
And because I have no interest about Carlton, but when those guys talk about it, I like get interested.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah.
So all credit to them.
Last Saturday night, I almost went to a Carlton Sportsman's night because Rocco was bugging me to come down, and I'm like, I can't do it, man. I can't. I asked a couple of Carlton supporter mates. I asked a couple of them, I've got some tickets, man. You want to come? And they couldn't do it. It was a Saturday night, shitty weather, and I almost went, mate. Lucky I didn't, But I would have looked forward.
You should have gone, Nick. You should have gone. They're great guys.
If I went, they had Heath Scotland as one of the guests. I would have just bombarded Heath Scotland with Collingwood questions, just take it over.
And you know who I really enjoy on that panel is David Rees-Jones is on there a bit.
Yes,
well. He's really good.
I think Sunday nights.
Rees-Jones, what's amazing? He had that big punch on with Dennis Banks, and they're good mates now.
Are they? Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, in the live chat, I wrote it down. I go, "Hey Reese, are you good mates with Banksy after that stoush you had?" And he answered it, and he says, "He's like, yeah, mate, Banksy's the best. We get along, we catch up, and it's great to hear, man, because Banks belted the fuck out of me."
Well, part of the reason is you didn't see Reese Boy because that was an evener upper apparently. That was Banksy evening up something earlier.
Okay. Yeah.
And,
that's what they did back in the day.
The Channel 7 commentary was brilliant. Oh, that is in the book you go, Banksy. What a hit that was. What about the other big punch on and controversy that Rees-Jones was in? It was when it was Rees-Jones versus Greg Williams.
Oh yeah, they were sniping each other for years, mate.
Yeah. Broke his jaw.
Oh dear.
And then they became teammates.
That's right, because Rees-Jones went to. Well, they both ended up at Carlton, didn't they?
Yeah, and I think Rees still hates him.
Yeah, they didn't make amends.
Mate, they got Greg Williams as some kind of football director. The guy can't even remember yesterday.
Yeah.
I don't think the boys are very happy with him being on the board.
No.
But this goes back to what I was saying before.
Greg Williams on the board.
It goes back to what I was saying before. They have too much influence from other areas, and it holds them back. But it's great. It is great to see.
Yeah, can we just go around? How many of you reckon Graham Wright's gone within 2 years from Carlton? I reckon 2 years and he'll leave.
He might after a couple of years. He might just throw his arms up and say, "I can't deal with these idiots."
Yeah.
Well, that's what happened to Cook.
He knocked back the job at the AFL. Yeah. I reckon he'd be skilled. But maybe even working at the AFL, he probably thought, "I can't work with these idiots either."
Yeah, I think when people talk about how much he had, how much he did at Hawthorn, how much he did at Collingwood, but Collingwood and Hawthorn had the right pieces. They just needed the right director. Yeah. Carlton have no ducks in a row. They don't even have their ducks.
Yeah,
they constantly chew and spit out blokes. How long do you reckon they're going to give the Collingwood guy if they finish, 15th or 16th a couple of years in a row or something? They'll chew him out. They can't stay the course for longer than a year for anything.
Gone. Agreed.
And Adrian, and how ironic that they've got to get a Collingwood guy to fix their shitty club.
They've tried it before, mate.
Right.
They've tried it before, And look, even Malthouse.
It's actually really funny though, because even with Malthouse, when Malthouse went over there as coach, and then he left obviously after 3 years, but he left in the middle of a rebuild, And just hearing some of the Carlton boys just being like, "Oh, Malthouse is one of the most overrated coaches," and he did such a bad job. It's like, are you serious right now? It's like you gave him 3 years to fucking turn your fortunes around. No coach can do that, let alone the greatest coaches of all time.
I've got a story about that. When Malthouse was poached to come to Collingwood, part of the pitch was by Eddie Maguire, I want you to come and you tell me what needs doing here to fix this club. You've come from a powerhouse in West Coast. You tell me what you need, what needs changing. You've seen success. You know what success looks like in the modern era, or at that time, that era. Yeah. And he gave him full control of the club for a year or two to get everything the way he needed it. And next thing you know, we're in back-to-back grand finals. Now, when he went to Carlton, he went there apparently, and I've heard this on a few podcasts and a few interviews. He told the board or whoever was in charge, then his 8 or 9 players need to go. And there was a few guys that, you know, were bigger names at the time and things like that. And he said they got to go. And the board flat out refused. They just said, no, we're not allowing you to do that. They gave him 1 or 2, but they just didn't give him the control. Now, this is the same issue. Clubs. Oh, there was a few. I can't remember. If I can remember, I'll bring it up. I know one of them might have been Murphy at the time, and you know he just said this. One of them was Murphy. I remember that.
Yeah.
And you know, before you know it, he's not given full control, and it all fell to shit. They will have the same issue no matter what happens because they will not listen to anyone that's not a Carlton person. Simple as that.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know whether you listened to one of the podcasts this week where Mark Murphy was on, and he said that if it wasn't for the Essendon saga of 2015, 2016, his books were stamped. He was gone. It was Essendon. This is Mark Murphy.
What, he would have gone to Essendon if it wasn't for the saga?
Yeah, 2016.
Yeah.
At that stage, in the end, Carlton just basically tried to convince him that that's not the right club. He confesses that he had meetings with them, and he says in the end, it was the right decision to make, but he was out the door.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Hey, guys, I'm going to go, H.
No, I was just going to finish by saying they're too proud, in inverted commas, they're too proud of a club to have someone from the outside tell them what to do. And Graham Wright will have the same issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I'm going to go across the board. I'm going to ask everyone what's going to happen tomorrow, and just give us also a prediction on the result and something that's going to happen in the game, like who's going to be the best player or whatever, you know. And come on, guys, we've got to step up on this, mate. We're getting our predictions fucking all over the place, mate. Nothing's coming out. A couple of things have come out. Someone said McCreary's going to kick ass a couple of weeks back, but anyway. All right, I'll start with I'll go in the chat. Voidoy, if you're still listening, bro, give us a result, man, in the chat. If he's listening, while we're waiting for Voidoy to give us his prediction, I'll give mine. All right, I've been saying it for 2 weeks. I'm going to say Collingwood by 23. Yeah. And I reckon, all right, I'm willing this into existence. What I want to happen, but I want Cox starting in the ruck. Yeah.
Yep.
Getting the fucking giving us first use. I want Cameron starting in defence, but once the ball is bounced, I want Cox drifting forward, and then Cameron takes over the ruck around the ground. So that's what I'm hoping is going to happen. And if that happens, that'll put us in good stead for a nice fucking historic victory. All right. That's my prediction. Voidoid, what's he saying? Collingwood by 21. Long 26 touches. Shooter, 3 goals.
Wow.
What's he saying? Keen, 3 intercepts. Okay. Only 3 intercepts. Okay.
Oh, mate, I hope so. I mean, like looking at it like lineup wise, I still think our team is full of stars.
Yeah,
they cost the goalie, Pendlebury, like easily should be.
I'm very happy with the lineup tomorrow.
Yeah.
One thing I just want to ask. Stefanos. What's he saying? Pies by 30. Parker keeps keys to 6 disposals. All right.
Wow.
All right. Sorry, I'm just writing these down for perpetuity. Checkers kicks 4. Fuck. All right. Anyone else in the chat want to put your predictions in? Put them in. I'll write them down, and I'll hold you onto them. All right. Who we got? Chris Talbot. How much are we going to win by, mate?
20 points.
24?
20 points.
20 points, sorry.
20.
Yep.
Nice. 20.
Yep, 20. Yep. 2-0, 20. What's going to happen, mate?
To go to have 30 touches. To go to have 30 touches and kick 3 goals.
Wow. All right.
Oh, yes, please.
I like it.
Wow.
I like it. All right. Age?
Yeah, so I think Collingwood by 2 goals. Like I said at the start of the stream, it's giving me 2018 pre-Richmond game vibes. I'm just getting that. Yeah, I think there's a confidence there in our group. I think it's come back. Now, two goals. Look, in terms of a standout performance, I think it's going to be one of those real even spread games. Look, my prediction is I think Cox is going to really push the backman. I can't see him having an outrageous game forward of the footy or anything, but I really think Brody Myercheck, a bit of a redemption game, not a bag, but 2 or 3 goals and really puts Keane out of the game.
Okay. All right. Who we got next? Dad, you still with us, mate?
Yeah, I am.
Yep.
Just thinking.
How much we winning by, mate?
I'm going to say I'm confident, but I'm still going to say close game because these two teams generally have close ones. So I'll say Collingwood by 10 points.
Yeah.
And I reckon there will be a game where we'll be down at quarter time by a couple, similar at half time. Crows will kick away a little bit in the third, probably 15 points, but not out of the game. And I reckon we'll just we'll throw everything at them in the last quarter. And I reckon that week off, I think our older guys will get us through with their experience and knowledge and heads. Pendle, Sidey, Crispy, Darcy, hopefully the captain as well, and Brody up forward. I see Jamie Elliott finding his form again, kicking 3. Yep. Sidey kicking 2, Jack Crisp kicking 2. And I would say I'll make this prediction. I'm not sure it'll be quarter time or half time, but all in brawl at quarter time or half time to get everybody talking before the next quarter starts. So I see a fair bit of fireworks at some stage in the game on the field, which will be good for us. But 10 points and a last quarter stranglehold, and I reckon we'll run over the top of them.
Okay. I've got the feeling that there's going to be a fucking brawl because of all the ranking shit. Yeah. Yeah.
I reckon for sure. Yeah. Has to be. The crowd, everything involved, a few words over the fence, umpiring decisions. People are just going to get on hot under the collar, which would be good. It's going to be great for us. We'll love it. It'll be great. Yeah. Bring it on. Bring it on.
Coxty will probably start some trouble.
Let's get in there. Let's, shows who's boss. Come on.
Thanks, Daz. All right,
Thanks, guys.
Anthony, what do you reckon, mate?
All right. Okay. Well, I reckon overall, the first quarter, I reckon we're actually going to be ahead by quite a bit.
Yeah.
I reckon we're going to see Houston middle first bounce, and we are going to start the game all out attack.
Yeah.
Have like a 20-point lead on them. I reckon quarter 2 will even out, so probably a bit tighter. Crows will fight back. Quarter 3 for me is the big one. Quarter 3 we're going to stamp down and just bury them. And quarter 4 will hold on. So I reckon Pies by 38 points.
Wow.
Yeah, I reckon Crisp
25.
Crisp 25 touches, Cox 2 goals for me. Yeah. I'm hopeful, but I want to see a good win.
All right, Tyler.
Oh, I wish I was confident like Anthony was. I think it's less than 2 goals. So I think possibly 8-9 point win. I think it's going to be an even match. I'll go 2 ways about this. I think Maynard or Quaynor will have an outstanding game and shut down Fogarty or Thilthorpe. And Crisp to kick 2 goals from the 50.
Okay.
Ooh.
He's the final specialist, mate. All right. Matt?
All right. So Collingwood's got 1 A grader. It's Nick Dacos. But the following are finals A graders that Collingwood have.
Mm-hmm.
Adelaide don't have any. So Maynard, Quaynor, DeGoey, Nick Dacos, Josh Dacos, Pendles, Crispy, Cameron, Sidebottom, Cox. All of these guys are going to do a number on them, and we should win by 6 goals. Now, the most influential player or group of players for Adelaide will be the umpires. They're worth 5, so they will try and cheat their way to a victory, but I reckon it's only worth 5 goals. So we win by 6 points. And so don't you reckon we need to be at least a 6 goal better side to beat the cheating?
Yeah, I agree.
3 weeks ago, that is nothing. They're going to be
disgusting.
They'll get the free kicks. Don't worry. They'll win the free kicks.
Rugby style cutout passes. They're going to have dudes who are doing a quarterback style chuck 40 meters down the ground. And Gary Lyon is going to be going, did you see that? Did you see that? Dunst will be going,
we'll have the commentators will be all against us, like they always are.
If Dunstall's going to be the one saying that umpiring is against us, then that's quite a feat.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
We love it when it happens like that.
Yeah.
Bring it on.
It'll just make it all the sweeter. Elliot will elevate himself into one of the, because he's never been unreal in finals, but he's going to have influence. He's going to kick 3 goals, and I think the big Cox is going to kick 2 goals, and he'll kick 1 early, and then I'll fire him. The other prediction is they're going to go for his sunnies. They're going to do the rip the sunnies off, and it's going to be all in.
Yeah.
Well, that'll be a free kick. I thought they said last time it happened they were going to pay free kicks for that next time, so we'll watch.
I hope they do it and he gets one in the goal square, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's what they said. That's what the umpire's boss said last year or the year before. That you can't be doing that. It's part of the. It's no different. It's absolutely no different to chucking your bloody mouth guard at somebody, mate. You keep your hands off anybody else. And you don't start throwing objects around. If you're touching someone else's, that's his actual footy gear. You take his spectacles off, mate. That's a free kick. Umpire's got to pay it, and stop chopping his arms as well because he's 6'9", 7 foot. Why does he get it? Why does he not get free kicks? Because he's tall. It's chopping the arms. It's chopping the arms.
Yeah.
I'll be watching that.
I agree.
He should have another 30 goals in his career just from that, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, watch that closely,
Yeah.
fellas, to see whether he gets free kicks. Because I'm telling you, they'll have one bloke sitting on his left and another defender on his right, and one of those two will definitely chop his arms. Watch it. I bet they don't pay up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ultimate
Yeah, I agree.
greatness. You with us, Sean?
Yeah, I've had some technical difficulties, but I'm back now.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I just my head is telling me that we're gonna have a nail biter. We just, for some reason, we just love to make it hard for ourselves. I think we'll probably win by about, I'll say 4 points. Just do it in a close one. As much as,
Oh no.
Oh.
yeah.
Controversy?
You
Any
know, I mean,
controversy?
personally, I'd love just a really good first half, blow them out of the water, but that's just not the team we've seen all season. So I just reckon we're just going to dish up what we've dished up all season. We don't sort of win anything more than like 2 goals, and yeah, I think we'll probably come away with 4 points. Yeah, probably. I reckon we'll have a good first quarter. We'll sort of. I think in the second quarter will be a bit of a what's the word? Sort of like a calming of the storm. And then third quarter we'll probably have a bit of a run on, and then fourth quarter a bit of a calming of the storm, trying to hold on for dear life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the predictions.
Any individuals that are going to do something special tomorrow?
I think Bo's going to kick 2 goals.
Yeah,
that's probably
nice one.
2, and I want to say 20 disposals, but goddamn, since when has he ever got 20 disposals? Yeah, why not? Let's just throw the baby out the bathwater, or whatever the saying is.
20 plus
disposals, 2
disposals
goals,
for both. All right.
and 2 goals, and let's throw in some tackles. Let's. I feel like 10's too much, but fuck it, we'll just say 10.
Love it.
What was that last one? Sorry. What was that last prediction?
I just said tackles 10.
Oh, 10 tackles. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Nice one.
Yeah, he'll probably get about 7 or 8, but why not? Let's just
I'm just gonna for my one. I'm just gonna say, and I say this every fucking week because I'm just willing it to happen. Houston's just gonna have his best game for us.
Yep. Come on, Houston. Come on.
Yeah, I just want to see it. I just want to see fucking vintage fucking Dan, man. And
midfield, wing.
I was actually thinking of Houston and Quaynard in terms of they have their best games. Like it's just especially as well because we need them to lift as well. Those are the two because they're probably going to cop it from the supporters and stuff. I feel like for them, and we know Quayn is all class when he plays finals. Like he does stand up.
Q's going to cop the booze. Q's going to cop the booze big time. Yeah,
it's good for Houston. It's at the Adelaide Oval.
That's cool.
Like he's played in lots of showdowns.
Yeah.
And I will say this too, and I know Mick, you're gonna laugh at this, but I've got a feeling Cox is gonna kick 3 goals.
3. Wow. He's turned the tables.
Oh.
I mean,
I hope he's hey Shawnee. I hope he's
more
been
than what
having goal kicking.
my check have done for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Well,
I just
that's a good effort if he did that.
Yeah,
you know what, Sean?
I
reckon he gets 3 shots at goal or 4 shots at goals. Has he been doing his goal kicking practice? Because he's been. He used to be good at it. He used to be really accurate.
Yeah, he was.
If you've seen
he was a dead idea.
He's shocking.
Yeah,
he's shocking. But I don't know. Just the last 12 hours, I've been watching some video clips of all the shows and then hearing the fact that he's officially confirmed to be in. there's just a feel, like it's just a feeling, and like I'm not against it. Like, fuck, if you could kick 15, I'd fucking take it. But like, I just, there's just as much as I'm sitting here being like, I don't really want him to play because his VFL form's been shit house. But there's also just this part of me that's just like, fuck, he's gonna kick 3 goals, isn't he? Like, it's so
he
like,
is.
I'm so like bipolar about it. Like, I'm so against it, but then I'm just like, fuck, he's gonna play well, isn't he? Like, he's just gonna like shut me up, and
He's going to
that's
play well
fine,
in
like,
spite of
I'll-
you, Sean.
pretty
Actually
much.
will.
Yeah.
Actually will.
I'll tell you what.
I haven't seen a final where he hasn't played well. Like, he's played well every final, from what I remember. So
Well, also as well too, the talk about how they're looking for the free kicks now and like the chop of the arms, things like that. I feel like whenever that gets brought to light, they look for those free kicks that next week. So the fact that that's on display as well, like, I don't know, it just it's not like I'm not gonna hate it if it happens, but like, because obviously I'll take any goals that we kick, obviously, but I don't know.
I can tell you, one of my predictions, if I can go back, Cox will not get a chopping of the arm free kick. If that happens, if he gets one chopping of the arm free kicks, we're going to win the flag. There's no stopping us.
yeah.
Because Cox then becomes a weapon.
Yeah.
All right. I'm just going to add. All right. So I said Houston's going to have his best game for us, and I'll also add in McCreary will have his best game for the club.
Yeah.
Does anyone want to add any other predictions?
I do. I want to add Nick Dacos will have 30 touches, 2 goals.
All right. So you've gone Geordie 30-3 and Nick 30-2.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to say that I reckon Darcy Cameron will be probably considered one of the best on ground. I reckon he'll do a job.
Yeah.
And freeing him up, I think would be great. Actually, I think he does have confidence in going back into the defensive area. He does do the Nathan Murphy job pretty well. And it just goes to show how well that guy did play for us in 23. Nathan Murphy, he was just perfect at it. But yeah, I think if he's at his best, I mean, he's never really a fantastic tap ruckman. That's why Cox is probably in the team. But around the ground, I think he'll give Riley O'Brien a bit of a run for his money. And if he's anywhere as good as he can be, he'll give the advantage to people like Nick, Josh, Pendles, Crispy, and all those sorts of guys. And I will add, I agree with Mick as well. I do have this feeling that Dan Houston's going to walk off that ground with a big grin on his face.
Yeah.
So DCBAG. All right.
Yeah, who else is big? It has to be Frampton. Frampton has to play a huge role.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking oath. Fucking oath.
Yeah.
I've actually got a really good feeling about Parker. If that whole tagging job on Keys happens, I reckon he could actually do that very well. Like, I'm very confident he'll be the winner of that matchup.
Fuck, he was stiff not to play against Melbourne. Far out.
Yeah.
Yeah. All
I
right.
think Cox will dominate the run.
What was that, Chris?
Cox could be the best ruckman on the ground. I think Cox could be the best ruckman on the ground.
Yeah. Yeah.
Could be. Let's hope they're all good.
Yeah.
All right. Good. Let's hope this time tomorrow night we're a happy bunch of Collingwood supporters.
Yeah. Look, well, I'll definitely. I don't know. Whenever Anthony finishes whatever he's doing after the game, I'll start my stream straight away. And my biggest critic of my stream quality, Matt, how's it? Is it nice and clear this time? I've upgraded my internet and I've bought a new laptop, mate. So it should be all good.
No, it was
just want to say
it was just a bit robot-y one night.
My voice. I think I need a fucking.
Everyone was and then apparently it was sorted out.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all good now. I've got a brand new laptop, and yeah, I upgraded my internet, so it should be all good for now.
Yeah, no, it's good. Really good.
Amazing. Yeah.
Hey, is anyone keen to jump on the Discord chat before the game tomorrow?
No, do it.
Yeah, the Pies Pity one.
Yeah.
I'll see. I'll be finishing work. I'll be able to do it. Yeah, fucking oath. Yeah.
Maybe like, I don't know, anyone jump on 5 o'clock onwards or whatever. Jump on.
Yeah.
Talk some shit.
Yeah, I'll be able to. I finish work at about 5:45, so I'll be home by just after 6. And yeah, if he's on, I'll jump on as well. Yeah, beautiful. But yeah, I'll
no
be
injuries.
No injuries. Yeah. Hopefully.
No injuries. No reports. Bruzzy, control yourself. Bruzzy, control yourself. Don't run through anyone. Just. We need you next week, regardless, or the week after. Don't report anyone. No reports. No injuries.
Bobby back. Let's hope we get the week off. Jeremy and Bobby can be back.
Yeah.
Just get the win.
Yeah.
And no forward.
No
50
injuries.
bombing.
Just win it. Yep. Okay.
All right, gentlemen. It's been a pleasure having this stream. We've gone for another almost 4 hours, the usual. How good's that, man? It felt like 1 hour, mate. It felt like just 1 hour, man.
Yeah.
Even got Manny to call in from the Greek islands, mate. How good's that?
Cool. How is he?
He's good, man. He's looking after his grandfather. So yeah, he's caring for him. But I think he said he's going to come back next week or something like that. So yeah. All right, gentlemen. Thank you so much. You're legends. The marathon, we're the Midnight Ramblers. I don't know what to call us, you know. The Midnight Chroniclers. I don't know. Fuck. We'll come up with a name one day. But thanks so much, and I'll catch us tomorrow night. Win, lose, or draw.
Thanks, Mick.
All right.
No worries,
Thanks,
Pies.
mate.
Go Pies. Come on, Pies.
Come on, Pies.
Come on,
Go
boys.
Pies.
The win. Come
Go,
on.
boys.
All right.
All right, I'm ending the stream right
All right.
now. Catches.